Oh, hello there. Welcome. Welcome. I don't know what I'm trying to do there. I was trying to be all sly going, and you know what? I'm bringing the energy up. Scratch that. Let's start this over. What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. Welcome back into the Ryan.
Are we back? Are we back? It says we're back.
Are we on internet?
It says we're on the internet.
I swear.
Also, hi, what's up, guys? It's very yeah, of course this happens. I spelled internet wrong in our original. I had to put it back.
You know what? Okay, a couple things here. First off, let's take three. Hey, everyone. Welcome on into the Ryan Ripken Show, Shirts and Pants. You know what? It is almost Friday. Welcome to Throwback Thursday. We got a great show for you, as always. We're going to throw it back to Thursday, and we didn't get a chance to break down the Adam Sandler movies last week. We're going to do that this week, but we also are going to break down what just happened in Baltimore, the news. Felix Bautista is out, not just for a little bit, Zach. He's out for 12 months. We're going to have Will Carroll, who wrote Under the Knife. He's part of Baseball Prospectus, and he has great insight into all of the injuries in the sports world. So he's going to join us at 3 p.m. to talk about the severity and what he thinks is going to happen here moving forward for the Mountain. And then we're going to go around a little bit of MLB and the NFL. There was a Baltimore guy, friend of the show, friend of the program, that got a little frisky last night, Zach. 2 home runs for the kid, but also it wasn't just Gavin Sheets, who I'm referring to. If you guys could put 2 and 2 together, there were some other Baltimore connections that were having a day and having a night out there in San Diego. NFL training camps getting closer and closer to the end. Ravens news, which, hey, no one's panicking, Zach. I don't think so, unless you have different feelings, but the Ravens are saying nothing to worry about with Lamar Jackson. And Dan Quinn, I think he's done talking about the scary Terry contract situation, and he just wants to talk about who's there. We'll talk about that and a whole heck of a lot more. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for being patient with us on this fabulous Thursday. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. I see you guys. Appreciate you guys. Now, Bali, We're back. Take 3.
We're back.
How are we doing?
I'm feeling good. Better than the internet right now. Like you said, we're at that point of the off season for football where we just need the games to start because there's just a million different stories that we just have to kind of entertain ourselves with. A million different holdouts, obviously injury concerns or lack thereof, / we're being told not to worry, but everyone's also worrying because we've been told not to worry before and then we should have been worrying. So we're at that point where it's like, okay, we just need to get football started. College football actually starts this weekend, which is super cool. Glad to get that back. But yeah, it's also, we're getting a little cool outside.
It's getting, you know what?
A little nippy.
It feels fall-esque, but this is what happens in August or early September. You're going to get fooled. You're going to get fooled in the mid-Atlantic because it's a false perception that the times are really changing, because then there's going to be a heat wave. And then probably in October, November,
it's going to be like 85.
It's going to change.
It'll be 85. What? Probably 3 days. I'm not even checking. I'm checking my phone for the first time for the weather.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it's up in the 80s in the next few days. 80 tomorrow, 82 Saturday, 83 Sunday, 82 Monday. I know it.
I still remember a few years ago. I remember watching. It was, I think, the Ravens' first home game. That was the game the Ravens blew a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Lovely.
The Dolphins.
Lovely.
It felt like it was 95. I know it wasn't 95, but it was hot in September here. But you know what? Things are heating up in general. Playoffs for baseball. Playoffs, it is getting closer. We're getting closer a month, a little bit change until we get to postseason baseball. Unfortunately, Baltimore's still trying to climb back, but they are going to have to figure out what their next moves are going to be. Positives that the Orioles fans, you're going to have a chance to see some of your top prospects that just got called up. Beavers, Basayo, apparently, allegedly. They should be in the lineup, Zach. You never know, but you will see them at some point for the first time in Baltimore. That will be exciting. And then, yes, football is around the corner. But why don't we start this off with a little bit of the throwback feel, Zach? I put this out earlier on Instagram because you know what? Let's get the vibes. I don't know. Maybe this will increase the vibes, or maybe this will scare you away.
Scare the children.
Yep. If you see this man, everyone, run. But Throwback Thursday, let's talk about this handsome devil before we get into some more baseball talk. So, if anyone's wondering, yes, that is me. Hi, my name is Ryan Ripken, and I had a problem in 2019. The problem was I didn't have many hits for a 6-week period. Zach, I started off that season, I'd like to say I was hitting 333 over the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season. Yeah. I actually had an OPS over 1,000. I had more extra base hits than I had singles. I was feeling really good. And then Mr. Obi became a problem. I hurt my oblique, strained it, missed 6 weeks, came back, and I hit like $160 over the next 6 weeks. And then that's where you see this guy staring in the mirror going, what the hell am I going to do? And this was actually like phase 2 or phase 3 of the slump. We were in Wilmington, Delaware, Zach. And I'll bring back we don't need to see it that big. Let's see if we can make it smaller. Nope, other way. Goodness gracious. Oh, my gosh. Hide it, Zach.
Can
we make that smaller? That is terrifying for the kids. But overall, okay, here it is. Setting the scenes. 2019, we are in Wilmington, Delaware, and I had a full beard at the time, Zach, because I was told by Brett Cumberland earlier in spring training.
Cumby, yeah.
Shout out Cumby. Beard had hits, and it did. Until it didn't. And then I decided I was going to change it up. So I actually had a goatee, Zach. Have I showed you that goatee photo before? Maybe?
Yes, I think you have. I've seen the progressions.
So we made a goatee, played that game with the goatee, no hits. So once again, I'm staring defeat in the face. So after the game, I said, you know what? Beard comes off, mustache is now going to be the play. But not only that, Zach, I had to, face my fears and face my demons. Yeah. And that was to go out in public like that. So I did. I went out that night, with some buddies just to be able to just get out of the hotel room because, when you're, I'd like to say I was like 6 for, I don't know, 40. It was a rough go. Actually, I'll take that back. I think I was like 6 for 60. It's really not good for the program.
Yeah, not great.
Not great. And so the amount of looks, the amount of fear that other people are just like, who the hell is this guy? It was an awkward look. But I thought if I humiliated myself enough and looked like I was from the 70s, just got off a porn set, that this would help me get back into the best playing ways. Well, one thing led to another. A long night out in Wilmington, Zach, a lot longer than was anticipated. I didn't think I was going to be in the lineup the next day. And guess what? I was in the lineup, and I decided to shave that thing off right before game time. And I felt terrible, maybe a little bit hungover. But damn if it didn't work, because I hit 2 hits that game, and I went on a 4-game stretch of multi-hits. And then ended up hitting like 290 that month, over 300 the next month, and then got promoted to Double-A and kind of got things back on track. So I look back to that night, and I look back to that mirror pick of, did he face defeat? He did, Zach. But that man persevered. And that man is not the same person you see here today. Should I bring him back? No.
Yeah, I think just having the picture is. I think we have the picture. I think that's all we really need. If we start, maybe views start going down, we might have to bring that back. I considered going mustache a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. Well, so I was also like it was actually, I considered it like halfway through family vacation, but I also had to make that decision right then because if I stayed any longer with the beard at the beach, I was like, I shave. We got sunburn up here, pale down here. I was like, I'd have to figure out a way to even it out, and I wasn't going to take that risk.
You actually pull off a mustache pretty well, though. I saw some videos from last year, and I remember.
Yeah, looking back,
you don't look like we're alerting the police immediately, like I would with myself here.
When I went on that big thing where I was like, I'm going to have the best mustache at my friend's wedding, and I grew it out for like 3 months. Towards the end, when I was like, okay, I should probably shave this. Like, people are staring because it's just a massive mustache on someone who probably shouldn't have a massive mustache.
I wish I had like the ability to grow a power stash. Like that was my ability. Like, that's what I have. Like, that's what we're rocking with. If I fix my hair, does that change the perception? If I put glasses on, does that change?
Yeah, maybe you need some longer hair with that.
Like
I think you can't go short hair and mustache depending on who you are.
So
I think that's like a.
So my recent Throwback Thursday pick before then.
Do you combined them?
So of me with the luscious locks flowing in the wind, with that hair back then and that stash.
That's a little bit better. I think we could be having something. I think something could be there.
Okay. Well, you know what? As you guys know, I like to look back. I also love to poke fun of myself, but I'll admit when things aren't a good look, the long hair for me, Zach, that was a good look. This is not my best work. But the point is, you do anything you can to get a hit. Well, almost everything you can to get a hit. But if you're not trying, what are you doing? I was trying so many different ways to get out of my head. That was one of them. Was it my best idea? Probably not. But did we end up getting the result eventually?
I was going to say, it's all about the result.
It's all about the result. Gosh, I look good. It's like Ron Burgundy asked there. I look good. Hey, everyone, come see how good I look. Well, let's talk about actually, if you want to come see some great players. Let's get off great photos of me. Let's talk about the players now. Let's talk about the game. You want to come see some entertainment. Baltimore, Sam Basayo, Dylan Beavers, and the crew, they are going to be in Baltimore. And the Orioles are coming in hot, Zach.
Yeah.
Hot.
Hot. I mean,
hot. They've beaten 3 playoff teams in series, the Mariners, the Astros, and now
the Red Sox.
Now
you get the Astros again.
You get the Stros again. And, what I am happy to see is this team continue to find ways and to figure out who they can be. You know, and this isn't ideal, right? This has been a year, and I want to make this clear. This is not saying that any of us or anyone is happy with what the performance has been, because the objective in 2025, Zach, was to win the World Series. Barring an historic comeback and historic collapses then by other teams, the Orioles are going to fail to reach that expectation, get back to the postseason, and make a run. But what I love about all this adversity, one thing that I've always preached in the value is, how do you deal when shit hits the fan? What do? You know, when you are, I want to say naive, but when you are not worrying about the expectations, the pressure, and you're going out there and playing freely, which they did back in 2022 and 2023 and the part of 2024, they were the most winningest baseball team from when Adley got called up in 2022 through the 2024 season, most wins in the American League, Baltimore Orioles. Problem became when they became the hunted, injuries piled up, and the expectations, pressure, stress became a little bit too much. And so overall, no one's ever going to feel sorry for you if your team's banged up. Right, Zach? Yeah. No one's going to feel sorry for you.
Look at the Dodgers.
And the Dodgers had a lot of those issues last year. And you can say, well, Ryan, they got so much talent. They're so good. Well, they are. Look, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, but they had their own set of injuries. The Yankees didn't have their ace to start the season. They didn't have their then arguably their second best pitcher in Luis Gil, Rookie of the Year last year for the season. And yet New York is in a much better position to make a postseason push.
Yeah.
No one cares how injured you are. They figure out if you can find a way to win. And for the Orioles right now, these last 5 weeks, the players are going to learn a lot about dealing with who's available, not about what you're missing. And I think everyone was looking for a savior, Zach. Someone's going to come back. Someone's going to step up. Not enough people did. Well, now, okay, well, great. Work with who you got. And if you can do that, you're going to have a lot of success up here in the big leagues.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I keep saying on Kevin and Zach React, it's like spring training. We're in 2026 spring training. And the fact of you are trying to see what you have. You know, that's the biggest thing is you are trying to understand who can help you. You're trying to get guys comfortable in the majors. Dylan Beaver, Sam Basayo, we talk about this all the time, Ryan. They look incredible right now. Not taking away from that. They will slump. I would rather it get out of the way now, and then they can go into 2026 having already gotten past. All right, we've had a slump in the majors. Mentally, now I know how to get past it. I know how to get out of the slump. You know, I've had that rough, oh, you're 0 for 12 now, and you're like, well, let's keep it rolling. You know, that's what I think this now into the season. If you screw around, you win 25 of your next 30 or whatever, and you somehow miraculously make this thing a ball game. You know, that's one thing. But majority of it is Bradish, get him back, get him confident on the mound. Wells, get him back and confident on the mound. Suarez, same thing. You got these young guys coming up, get them confident in the majors, comfortability. And then you see what happens in 2026 because we've seen before 2011, 2022. Those, 2012 and 2023 don't happen without the back ends of the seasons prior and getting that momentum and establishing a winning culture because culture matters. Culture does matter. If you get that momentum, I do not think it is a coincidence that the Baltimore Orioles backpedaling is an understatement. Backpedaled into the back half of the 2024 season last year, and then it took them a while to kind of get things going again this year. And then, because look at the stats. First 50 games, 16-34. Since then, in the 76 games since, 43-33. I don't think it's a coincidence that, hey, you had a lot of things happen at the end of last year, not feeling great leaving. You lose Burns, you lose Tony. Suddenly, not everything feels awesome. Start out, Colton goes down, then Westy goes down, then Adley goes down. It felt like it took them a while to finally be like, oh, wait, we got this talent. Let's go for it. I feel like they're hitting that stride again. So I'm excited for the end of 26 or 25, get the guys ready. And I do think they hit the ground running in 26.
Well, you hope so. But right now, the last 5 weeks are going to be very important for a lot of these young guys. They're going to learn a whole heck of a lot. And then for the Orioles and Mike Elias, they have a checklist that they're going to have to go through and see, well, all right, what are we going to evaluate going into this offseason and beyond? Now, one of those things on that checklist is going to be looking for a closer because of the news to Felix Bautista. So we thought, well, I don't know how to break this all down. I've been around sports enough, Zach, and I've seen a lot of injuries, but I thought, why don't we bring in an expert on the case here? So we're bringing in Will Carroll, injury expert, and if you have seen the column Under the Knife, I think he's seen a thing or two over the time, and he is the perfect person to talk about this. So, Will, if you're ready, thumbs up. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's do it. Let's bring on Will Carroll. Will, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Certainly better than Orioles fans recently. So it's been a tough run this year. It's tough to watch. I've got a lot of friends in that organization. I think highly of their medical staff. So seeing how this has gone, especially recently for Bautista and Ripken, it's just tough to watch.
Yeah, there's a couple angles I can go here, but let's start with this. The perception where everyone wants to look at and say the Orioles are so snake bitten. There are injuries around all of baseball.
Yeah.
In your mind, do you think that this is, the Orioles are the only team dealing with this? Is it a higher number, or do you kind of see that this has been a trend throughout Major League Baseball here over the last few years?
It's been a trend around baseball for a long, long time. I think the question is whether or not this is a trend for the Orioles, because you can make a difference in the injuries, just the sheer number of injuries you're going to have. What can you prevent? What can't you prevent? Look, there's probably going to be some number of them. I can't say zero is impossible because it's been done. If you Google Gary McCoy, he did it with a team in Taiwan. It is doable. And so if you do the right things and reduce the injuries you can, you see things like pitchers getting hit by comebackers. And doesn't it feel like that's happening a lot more? Or Trammell running into the fence last night. Those kind of things are going to happen. No medical staff can stop that. But arm injuries, we can reduce those. Hamstring injuries, all these lower leg, we can reduce those. Why have we seen a 60% increase year over year with oblique injuries in the last 3 years? The Orioles, yes, the injuries are up this year. Are they snake bitten? No, it's probably a little bit of luck balancing because they've been so good over the last 3, 4, even 5 years. 2020 throws all the stats off when we start talking about larger numbers. But they have been so good. One of the top 2 or 3 teams in 23 and 24, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of dollars lost and days lost. So it's unfortunate, but not uncommon to just see a little bit of luck balancing there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you gave that perspective, too, on oblique injuries. And coming from someone that had an oblique injury back in 2019, I was in high A at the time, Will. They stink. They suck. But you're right, the increase of an oblique injury, back in the day, when my members of the family were playing back in the 70s or 80s, 90s, that term was not used as much. Training, what you do in the off season, and the intention that guys are doing both with their practice reps and the game, et cetera, you name it, everything's more intensified. So in this case, you mentioned arm injuries. So let's go back to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if, unless the game is going to be changed, that this is going to be a dramatic drop. But before we get into Felix, what is one thing you specifically would argue or like to see people focus on to try to keep a pitcher on the mound for a full 162?
Well, you don't have to do all 162. I'd settle for 30, 32 starts.
30, 35. I just meant them to be available for a full year. Yes.
I've got to be pedantic. I'm sorry, Ryan. This is one of those things where I think there's a lot of things we could do. And so my first answer would be, God, let's do anything. Anything has to be better than this. The second is, if we really do look at what kind of forces these guys are putting on their arms, the changes that have come in the game, these guys are bigger, they're faster, they're stronger, they're throwing harder, they're swinging harder, everything. So there's just more force in the game. So we have to figure out how do we deal with that force. We've literally gone to all gas, no brakes in most of these situations. With a lot of these oblique injuries, these guys are twisting so hard and twisting so fast that they pull the other side because it can't stop them. They're out of balance. They're working on the six packs. Nobody does 8-minute obliques. It's just not a sexy muscle. So with pitchers, the first thing I would do is get serious about workload management. Load management has kind of become a negative term in the NBA because it means people are sitting. But with this, it should be simple. We should say, we all look at our phones all day and see that battery gauge go down. All we need is a battery gauge for the arm. Why don't we have that? Well, we do. We have things that we could use. There are wearables. There are things that the medical staff can do to help with recovery. There's tons of things we could do. But let's go and do something as simple, perhaps, as weightlifting. If I wanted to lift 300 pounds on the bench press, I'm not just going to go jump in there, strap 300 pounds, and hope for the best. I'm going to work my way up. Mm-hmm. You'll probably go in there, just pop it on there. But any other weightlifting thing, any other technique, you're going to start somewhere and work your way up. So why aren't we starting at 75 pitches, 85 pitches? Somebody does that. Let's move them up to 95, 105, 125. We used to have guys who would regularly go 140, 150 pitches not that long ago. Why? Well, because they were throwing. They were the kind of freaks. We can't compare people to Randy Johnson and Nolan Ryan, but there's some of those out there that could safely do more and more. You can't say those guys weren't throwing hard because they were. They just weren't throwing hard on every single pitch. So I think there's some very simple things we could do. There's some really technical things we could do, but I would start there.
And who's to say you speak for yourself, Will, when it comes to the obliques, the sexy obliques. I saw Zach doing 8-minute sexy oblique exercises here before we started today, right?
Man.
Yeah, every Thursday, actually, just missed it, Will. Every Thursday at 2:30, Zach's doing his sexy oblique sets. So you just missed it. But it is
I'm sorry if 8-minute obliques was an advertiser or something.
Yeah. Oh, no. It might be. That might be. Ooh. Merit clubs. Hey, there you go. Merit. Hey, we're in the fitness. That can be a part of the fitness test next. 8-minute obliques. But I'm fascinated with this, Will, because I think you hit the nail on the head with the intensity that pitchers are now putting into almost every single thing that they do before they go on the mound and then when they're on the bump, right? Yeah. And it's the power pitching style versus even the finesse, knowing when you need to rear back and have a little extra. I've talked to John Smoltz about this. Greg Maddux, I know, was probably the most precise pitcher in baseball history. You can make the argument where he didn't throw the hardest. I'm sure he could run it up there at times, but his was, I'm going to be very technical. Now we're seeing a lot of guys power, and my power, I could throw it as hard as I can, try to spin it or throw whatever pitch, and I can get the result I'm looking for, strikeout or weak contact. Felix Bautista then fits that mold right there, right? Power arm. He can throw 100 right down the dish, right in the middle, and hey, good luck. It's a hard pitch to hit. Then he's got the splitter, which with that action makes it tough. So from your perspective here, Will, with a guy like Felix, where do you think it went wrong with the labrum and with the torn rotator cuff? Yeah. And also, I'm curious then, do you think that he can be that same type of pitcher then moving forward into 2027 would be my guess and beyond?
Let's take those two things separately. And let's start with what's going on with him. I mean, first off, we've seen him. It starts with the genetics. My God, he's literally a mountain of a man. Mm-hmm. If you're out there looking like that, people expect you to be a power pitcher. And he absolutely was. But with all that power, you have to have two things. You have to have stability and the ability to stop the arm. The rotator cuff is functionally the brakes of the arm. When you're throwing that hard going forward, the rotator cuff is back here saying, no, don't keep going. You need to stay here with me. Inside the shoulder here, where the shoulder and the head of the humerus are here, that kind of thin cup, the labrum goes inside here and kind of acts sort of as a gasket. It's all about stability. So he has lost the brakes and the stability in his shoulder. Neither of those is good. Both of those is really bad. The fact that it came after an elbow injury, it's going down the kinetic chain. And Washington isn't too far from you guys. So you'll remember Steven Strasburg. He had the elbow, he had a shoulder, he had a neck injury, then he had a lat injury. It was going straight down the kinetic chain. I was like, I hate to predict this, but he's going to have a back injury next. What did he have? Lower back injury. Luckily, none of those were terribly serious. He came back from. For Felix, this is another kinetic chain. So he's going to have to figure out how to deal with the forces. He's going to have to, in rehab, build up those brakes, make the muscles. You can't build up a labrum, though there is a new German study on regrowing cartilage that's really interesting. So he's just going to have to strengthen everything else. So he's going to have to get in the weight room. He's going to have to work with the rehab specialists and the athletic trainers and make sure that that shoulder is stable first and then deal with the mechanics second. Is he going to get back to 100? I don't know. We've got a grand total of one guy who's ever thrown 100 in the major leagues and hasn't had a major injury. And we don't know why Aroldis Chapman is the exception. Everybody else, gone. The arm just can't deal with that. But we're getting faster and faster. We're seeing guys in high school throwing 103. So this isn't stopping. We're going to see 110 before 2035. And I think it gets up around 118 down the line. We're not far from it. Certainly when we were seeing guys throw 89, 90 and not having to throw hard every pitch, it was nice. I mean, fans in Baltimore will remember this. And I will tell you when it changed. It changed when Mark Belanger wasn't the shortstop anymore and Cal Ripken Jr. was. All you had to do was see those two together. Look at their stats. Belanger, man, you could toss a cookie up to him. He's not going to hit it out. Cal, probably going to hit it out. I was going to say hit the warehouse, but that wasn't there then. So it's one of those things where the game has changed and continues to change. For Felix, I think he can come back. I think the best predictor here is Felix. He came back from Tommy John surgery like most people do. I don't think he has the same odds. I think it's 50-50. But everybody told me he was working hard. He sure looked good when he was healthy. So I hope he's healthy again.
Yeah, he proved when he is healthy enough, he can be dominant. It's still there. Now the process, and I know you know this, Will, and for our audience, the hard thing is going to be, can you mentally continue to show up each day and try to put your body in a position to have success? And then if you do everything right there, then you got to hope that your body's going to hold up. Will, you talked about the kinetic chain. Can it go the other way? Grayson Rodriguez is my perfect example. Grayson in 2022 was trying to get up to the bigs, hurt his lat initially. He's now had multiple lat injuries. And then it led to shoulder. Now it's kind of gone down to the elbow. That's right exactly with what you were talking about.
Yeah, his is a little more focused because, anytime you see a lat injury, it's spin. Why are we seeing more lat injuries? Because guys know what their spin rate is, so they're trying to change it. They're trying to alter it. They're trying to spin it harder, spin it faster, spin it in certain rifle spin directions. So it's just more work on the lat. I was actually talking to I don't want to say old time pitcher because it was the 2010s, but he was like, I didn't even know I had a lat. I knew the ball spun. I knew I was putting spin on it, but we didn't know this stuff. So we didn't think about it. These guys think about it. We saw the article the other day on Paul Skeens looking back at the vectors every pitch. It used to be we'd scoreboard look to see if we could hit 90 when I was playing, but I didn't. But now they're looking to see vectors and spin rate and exit velocity and all these other things. So again, I think with Grayson, he's got to fix his mechanics. He's got a muscle that they're having to literally stitch back together, and that's tough. Hope nobody's about to go to dinner, but take a steak, cut it raw, please, and then try to stitch it back together. It's tough, and it's not going to heal. It's not the same thing, but that's what a doctor is doing for Rodriguez's lat, is very literally trying to stitch back together a piece of meat.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm glad I ate before and my food digested. I was getting a little bit of a visual, but I love the breakdown of it because this is every scenario is different. Some are similar, but these are the realities of what pitchers specifically are having to deal with in baseball in 2025 and beyond. So, Will, I appreciate all the answers, and you've been doing this for so long. That's why you were a great person to talk to. Before I let you go, do you, of all the years, is there one situation that always sticks out to you? I mean, we're talking about decades you've been around and seen the game. Is there any injury that till this day you sit there and go, that one?
Oh, yeah.
What do you got for me?
It's not a specific one. There was a Red Sox pitcher, I'm blanking on the name, but it's the comebackers. Comebackers scare me because somebody's going to die, and I know that. And luckily, it hasn't happened yet, but these guys are bigger, and we're seeing it more, and somebody's going to get hit in the head and die. There was a little leaguer here in Indiana this is almost a decade ago, that took one to the chest. It stopped his heart. He died. It was the same sort of thing as happened to DeMar Hamlin. So those scare me. The thing that ticks me off about those is that pitchers could do more. We saw a little bit of protective hats. There were liners that they could put in, but they were hot. They had padded hats, but they're big gazoo-looking things. A pad over the chest for kids is mandated below 12. So I think there's just so much more we could do. But because pitchers want to do the same things they've always done, we see quarterbacks that don't want to change to better helmets, even though they've been concussed. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. It's a situation where I think pitchers and baseball could do more because, maybe it's not one of these major leaguers. Maybe they're fast enough and have quick enough reactions that they can get out of the way, but the little leaguers can't.
Man, that is the reality. And when you just mentioned earlier, and it's crazy when you said, 105, 106, that pitchers could possibly throw. 118 is what you said at one point in the next 20 or 10 years.
Yeah.
But what comes in, you make contact, comes right back out. I'm with you that I'm shocked that there hasn't been more tragedies in a good way, right?
Yeah.
In a good way. But that's the danger that we're going to continue to face here moving forward. And the game's going to have to continue to evolve too. So I'm curious how it all goes. But Will, where can everyone find all of your work, what you're doing, what you're up to, in case they want, or if they, maybe you're giving a seminar on how to strengthen the oblique?
Yeah, we could do that. No, you can find me at undertheknife.substack.com. It's $5 a month, but there's a lot of free stuff there, so you can check it out where I talk about these injuries. I'll have a lot more detail on Felix Bautista and hopefully no visual demonstrations of muscle tearings.
Yeah. Let's keep away from that. Let the mind have the imagination. But after this, Will, I'll get the full info so people that are interested, and you haven't put that out yet for the Felix Bautista. You're going to put out more on your Substack?
Yeah, that'll be out tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning? Perfect. Well, I will get the info from you so I can let the good people know where they can find it all specifically. But Will, appreciate your time, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Will Carroll, everybody. Yeah, the steak thing right there, I got a little nauseous. I did.
Biggest thing I took away was the 1-8, getting up to 1-8.
When you think about it out loud, when he said it, I kind of glazed over the thought of oh yeah. Well, wait a minute. That's a 15-mile-an-hour difference than what 103. I think is fair to say we've seen some.
Yeah,
I know they
think
said
103 is kind of you throw extremely hard.
Yeah.
We're at the point, unfortunately, where throwing 100 isn't even like that used to be the number. You hit 100, people were like, oh crap, this guy throws 100. Now we're at the point where you're sitting there and you look at it, and 102, 101 to 103 is the Mason Miller's, the Chapmans, Paul Skeens every once in a while, Mizrowski, all those guys, you kind of sit there and you're like, okay, that's throwing hard. We're going to see 110 by 2035, 10 years.
10 years. I was thinking, oh, wow, it's 15, 20 years away. And I'm like, shit, my math's off. No, that's in the next decade.
Could you just imagine seeing that first guy to throw 110 10.
Also, then when you get used to it, yeah, what's he got? Yeah, he's got a pretty good heater. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's solid. It gets you on you a little bit. What do you think he's at? You think he's at 105? You think he's at 107? Yeah, probably more 110.
Imagine the hit by pitch there.
Oh gosh, that would suck.
That would really suck.
I wouldn't like that.
That's actually though getting to like danger zone.
I think the hardest pitch I've ever been hit by is 98, and I hated
20
that.
miles an hour
Harder.
Yeah. The same difference of a 78 and a 98. Now adding that 20 more to that. That's just ridiculous.
Shirts and pants, man. That's rough. That is rough. But I thought Will's insight was great all around for it. That was fascinating for me. And if you guys are looking for it, we will get that information for his Substack, Under the Knife, and the evolution of where things are going. But I love the description with Felix, the injuries that we see with obliques, and obviously then with Grayson. Thought it was all fascinating. If you are new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Ryan Ripken Show. We do this live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for now, right here on YouTube, X, and Facebook. I say for now, Zach, because we are going to change our dates moving forward going into football season. So we want to have that PSA. We're going to continue to say it. So Mondays are actually going to become a new day for us. No more Tuesdays. It'll be Monday right after the football Sundays. We will have a Thursday show. We will have a Sunday show. Then we might sprinkle in a little Friday show. And when there's breaking news, we're still going to have it. And we are still going to have baseball content. Don't you worry about that. But foosball season's upon us. So we got to act accordingly. So that's all I got.
Top 25 matchup this weekend in college football. Were we not just in New Orleans? Were we not just in Sarasota? Like, it's crazy to me that we're already back in football season.
Foosball.
Yeah. Unreal. What a day.
What a day. What a day. What a team. What a sport. Go sports. But also, guys, we're going to have a lot of chances for giveaways and opportunities in the fall. And actually, too, talking about with giveaways and packages, Holy Shirts and Pants members, you guys have been patient. You know what's funny? I saw that some people are saying if we've sold any merch. We haven't sold any merch yet. And so our Holy Shirts and Pants members finally got the shirt situation taken care of. I guess it was a bad time to have an Ozer Fine shirt earlier in the year, but maybe now's the time.
Now it might be back in style.
It might be back in style, but we don't have the camera set up, but I have everything.
I can confirm. I walked in. The packages are ready. They are out there. They're all there. They're all there. Names and everything. So you've been waiting. They're there. They're over there. I'm looking at them with my own two eyes. I can confirm.
And we added a couple other goodies, and also with what we're trying to create in the fall, a lot better system. And I realized that I'm changing up how I'm going to have any shirts in the future. That can be for a Rip After Dark story, which we're due for a Rip After Dark here, and that's only for our Holy Shirts and Pants members. If you join, we kind of go off the rip there, a little bit more explicit, a little bit more intimate, and Lord knows the conversations that we have there. And last thing for PSA for Holy Shirts and Pants members, I put out the post on YouTube on the community tab. Let me know if you would like to do fantasy football. We're doing it for the Holy Shirts and Pants members. If you're in, reply, yes, you're in, and we can coordinate to get the group in for some foosball. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you to our sponsors and partners that have helped with actually the packages you're going to get, including our sponsor right behind, Merit Clubs, which Merit Clubs can allow us to be a little bit more active.
Woo, Obies.
We're going to be doing OB training left and right this fall. But in all seriousness, Merit Clubs is going to give us some chances to give away opportunities, gym memberships, and let's just say maybe we'll have a few other guests involved in the future with that. So appreciate Merit Clubs. It's going to be a great stinking fall, Zach. I cannot wait. And I know a lot of people still cannot wait for the fact that the Orioles,
maybe
some birds are also coming back. Kyle Bradish looks like he might have made his last start down in Norfolk.
Tyler Wells looked really good.
Tyler Wells looked good. But you know what, Tyler Wells, until he texts me and, wants to catch up and go to breakfast,
Yeah, where's Big Tyler?
Yeah. I wonder how Tyler's dog's doing.
It's probably still humping everything.
Yeah, maybe he'll have to give us a visualization of what's been happening. But in all seriousness, there's some exciting pieces that are coming back. Then you're even seeing like Chase McDermott out of the pen has looked good.
There's a lot of fun, maybe not even that are just, on the cusp, because obviously you get guys, but it feels like really throughout the organization, guys that came here via trade, deadline, or draft. I mean, I don't know how much longer they can keep these draft guys at Del Mar, but they got to go to Aberdeen next week because it's just too easy. They're all hitting it, I swear, over 600.
Oh, Ike Irish is.
Yeah, he and Bodine is, and Eloy. Those
ripping
the big three college bats that they got in the first round, they're playing damn good ball right now. Very excited for that. Actually, last night called Boston Bateman's first game.
Yeah,
Boston Bateman's first game in Aberdeen, 19 years old, and got a little. The box score is not going to tell the whole story. Actually, was beautiful. His first 2 innings, 21 pitches or 23 pitches, 4 strikeouts, great pace. He just towers over everyone else. End up giving up, I believe, 4 runs on the official sheet, but I mean, I'm talking about a few bloopers that got past outfielders because hit off the bat and taking weird bounces off the wall. So overall, I would say he probably should have gone about 5 innings, 2 earned runs. The one he gave up a long ball, but that happens, especially at 19 years old in high A. But it was very fun. Nate George, saw him in center field. Kid is as aggressive. They told me, hey, he's aggressive. They were not kidding. This guy, he got thrown out trying to go first to third on a grounder to the shortstop. But I mean, as I said on the broadcast last night, if you got a guy playing with his hair on fire, I'd rather you be like, we got to reel him in a bit than tell him to go use his abilities more.
Oh yeah,
but it was good. I'm excited for the future of Birdland. It looks like they are in very good hands, really from the ground up right now.
The ground up for the Birds, and also the guys who've gotten off to the fast starts in Delmarva. By the way, they were considered some of the best players in college.
Yeah,
and a lot of those guys then specifically playing high caliber college ball. Those 3 players that you just mentioned, so Eloy and Irish and Bodine, all those guys are considered the top or near the top at their position in college. They're seasoned. So It looks like they're going to have an opportunity. Obviously, they might get to Aberdeen by the end of the year and how things are going. Maybe they start there. Maybe they start in Double-A. Really depends on the trajectory and how quickly things are moving. But you'll love to see get guys get off to a good start. And Boston Bateman is a guy you will want to continue to follow if you are a Baltimore Orioles fan. Well, if you're a Baltimore fan in general, you still follow guys that played in Baltimore, or if they got Baltimore connections. There was a lot of homers flying last night for Baltimore connected people, Zach.
Baltimore boys of San Diego.
The house that Sheets built is what they've kind of renamed it out there. Gavin Sheets, Baltimore native, friend of the show, friend of the program. 2 bombs for the kid, whose role has kind of changed a little bit with the acquisition of Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn, who also went deep, dead nuts. Good day if you're a Padres fan, but you know what? Gavin, I'm happy for him. He actually had a home run on the what was it? The slowest exit velocity?
Slowest exit velocity to leave, I believe that Padres hit this season, or maybe even
I'm trying to find I think I quote tweeted that. I had to.
Yeah, you quoted it. It is it is the lowest exit velocity StatCast has ever tracked for a home run at Petco Park.
Gavin Sheets.
Pure muscle, baby.
That dad strength, man. It's that dad strength that he has now.
Well, Derry Bonds.
Derry Bonds, what can he do? But you know what? Let's talk about Derry Bonds for a second. And let's hear his post-game presser or post-game interview with Sam Levitt out in San Diego. I got to break down how he handled himself now that the brights weren't shining the brightest.
Gavin, not a bad night in the big leagues when you have 2 home runs and 4 RBIs by the end of 3 innings. Both the home runs came on curveballs. How were you able to get home run swings on those pitches?
Yeah, been working on them. Just trying to be aggressive, be aggressive with pitches in the zone. Try not to fall behind a little bit there and be aggressive and put an ace swing on it. So was able to do that there and, felt good.
He's so full shit. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to put an ace swing. You know what? Take it off the screen. Gavin, I'm trying to, I've been working on it, putting my ace swing on it. That's a standard now. It's just like a stand. That's PR Gav right there. I want to hear, nope, I'm the best there ever was. You know what? I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. Not this. I've been working on it. You kidding me?
Try not to fall behind on the count.
What are we doing? Let's see actually if he said anything else about hitting the slowest home run at Petco. I don't think he did, but let's play it.
The trade deadline, your role has adjusted a bit. Yeah. How have you stayed ready for opportunities like tonight?
Yeah, just be prepared. That's the biggest thing. Just be ready for any opportunity that comes. Some things are out of my control, but what I can control is how I go about my business and that I'm ready for every opportunity. So get opportunities like this tonight and try to come up big for the team.
A handful of months ago, you showed up in Arizona fighting for a job at spring training. Tonight, you set a new career high in home runs in a season. How would you describe this season on a personal level?
It's been a blast. Being in San Diego, being here has been a godsend, and there's still a lot of work to do for us, and I think the exciting stuff's still to come.
Okay, decent answer down there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give him that at the end. And I will say he has been preparing because it did change him being almost the everyday guy when there was a right-handed pitcher on the mound to now you're facing matchups. His home run off a lefty last night, though, home runs. Yeah. But Ryan O'Hearn's out there swinging the stick, too. And Ramon Laureano, do we even get going with how Ramon Laureano's doing?
Ramon's hot.
He might be if the season started when the trade deadline happened, Ramon Laureano might be the MVP of the National League.
Yeah, he's been
so on a bender.
He's been incredible. Ramon Laureano, literally since I would say May, has probably been one of the best players in baseball. He's genuinely, which is kind of crazy to think about, but you put all in all, he's a 300 hitter. He's hitting the long ball. He's coming up in big situations and coming through for teams. Now I have to say teams. It really is awesome to see Ramon Laureano. Unfortunately for him, he does have that player option or that team option, because if he was doing this before a contract, he would put himself, instead of that 6.5, it'd probably be closer to 16.5. He's having a hell of a season. Laureano is.
He is, man. And I'm happy for him. I hated to see him leave Baltimore. You just got to hope with those trades that those guys become something of value that you're, going to help your team in the future. But at least in this case, it opened up an outfield spot. Dylan Beavers stepped up, played well so far in his few games in the big leagues. And who knows? Never say never with Ramon. Doesn't mean he will never come back to Baltimore. But for right now, he's going to go out there and try to help the Padres, who got swept by the Dodgers. Now they're back on, the right foot. They're trying to get right back in to win that division and try to make a postseason push and try to get over the hurdle that is their NL West rival. So a lot of stuff happening there. What else happened around baseball then, Zach? That was the main thing. Yesterday, right? Bubba Chandler got called up, right? We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, but I think it's for a relief
role, right? Yeah.
Oh, I put you on the tiny one.
That's okay. Tiny man right now. Tiny rip.
Tiny rip. Yeah, I think it's going to be in a relief role. I don't think I think it's also an innings thing. Let me get the official. See if I just put Bubba into Twitter, see what comes up. It's really nothing bad. Oh, Bubba Chandler. That actually worked. Yeah, he will pitch out of the bullpen.
So that's one of the top pitching prospects. And for the Pirates, they had Skeens. If Skeens wasn't in the system, they'd say Bubba Chandler was going to be that next hyped up guy. and he's got a lot of talent. He thinks he's been ready for a while. Pirates have underperformed, to say the least, as well this year. But Bubba Chandler is a name to watch. But around baseball, like, you're just seeing these races are heating up, Zach. You know, I wish that we could say things were on that trajectory. Obviously, in Baltimore, you're just playing more for the pride and how you're trying to continue to get better.
That was had a highlights just randomly start playing.
Oh, did you have highlights?
I was gonna say I was looking at Ryan O'Hearn's home run when I was just on my phone, and then I started playing.
Yeah, you just
dead center though.
Dead center.
Yeah, a lot of great game for the boys with relations to Baltimore. We had O'Hearn, we had Machado, and Sheets, all homer, all
rocking and rolling there. And for right now, the Padres, they hold the second wild card spot at 71-56. They trail the Dodgers by a game. Cubs got the top spot. And how about that news coming out that Kyle Tucker apparently is playing with a hairline fracture in his hand or wrist?
That's interesting timing.
Very interesting.
I'm gonna chalk that up to very interesting timing.
Well, didn't Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager, say that initially, and then counsel confirmed it? I saw a tweet out there saying that.
Oh, I'm not sure. I just know what's it called. This is all happening right after he got booed off the field. But I also want to clarify. Cubs fans booed him, and I get it. He's in a slump and everything. I think Cubs fans were booing the fact he grounded to first and didn't leave the batter's box. I think that was
the effort.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not her.
I don't think that he was necessarily I get the slump probably led to that, but if the Orioles were in this pennant race, and let's say Gunnar was in a slump and he ground the ball to first base and just walks off the field, I would also be like, can we at least just give us a courtesy yog?
A yog.
Yogging. Courtesy yog.
Yogging.
Do
you know what yogging is?
I'm trying to, what's his name? Why am I blanking on the guy's name, the YouTuber?
Well, also it's in a movie that said, we tried this thing called yogging. Apparently it's just where you go and run for an extended period of time.
Why am I blanking on the YouTuber?
Well, you also are blanking on the movie, but what's new there? It's Anchorman is the movie we're referring to. The YouTuber, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Domingo Ayala.
Okay, well.
Do you not know who that is?
I know who Domingo Ayala is, but he's not known to me as being the yogging guy.
Well, I just always, because he was always yogging, then Tommy Juan. That's why I will always call it Tommy Juan. It's good, Tommy Juan.
Mm-hmm. Juan.
Chicks dig the long ball, not the 3-0 fake bunt.
Ooh.
It's a big one.
That is true. I hate the fake bunt 3-0. Hate it. Hate it.
His video on that was hysterical.
I hate it. You know what I love, though? Do you see when we talk about the Cubs, the broadcasters on air, they said if they get a 6-4-3 double play, that they will buy an entire bar in Iowa mozzarella sticks, and then the Cubs got a 6-4-3 double play. Oh, you didn't see that?
No. What? Did they get the mozzarella sticks?
I don't know if it's confirmed that they got the mozzarella sticks, but if we're looking at it, I got to pull the clip up here because that was probably one of the funnier things I saw. And I responded with corn dogs, Jackie, corn dogs for all these people, you know? Please tell me you know that reference.
Yeah, okay. Do we want to bring the video up?
Do you want me to pull it up?
Well, I can just download it real quick.
I have it downloaded now, but I mean, the question is, did you not know? Are you just avoiding the corn dogs, Jackie?
Oh, no. Is that, what is that?
Don't act like, no. Will Ferrell movie.
Oh, is that also Anchorman?
No. Okay. I want to play the clip. I'm disgusted with you. But here's the broadcasters calling for the double play, and then whammy, it happens.
If he hits a ground ball to short to start the 6-4-3, yeah, that's strike. Will you buy Mozzie sticks for everybody at the corner tap?
Absolutely.
All right. We don't know if they have mozzarella sticks in the corner tap room. The 1-1 outside. I'll go halvesies with you.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 Cubs. On the
Come on,
ground.
baby.
Let's go.
Mozzarella sticks for everybody.
Carter Taproom, meet up.
Flip it and fire it.
Mozzie sticks.
Mozzie sticks.
I need
That's electric.
confirmation if people got the mozzarella sticks.
We need to know, did they get the Mozzie sticks? You know what? Also, I've never nicknamed it Mozzie sticks. Have you?
I'd
Never
seen
heard of that.
Mozz. I'd see. Yeah, no, I've never seen Mozzie sticks.
I'm also, you know, we did this video a long time. When this is actually might have been for the birthday party on the episode. I'm gonna play this. We actually put out this tweet about the corn dogs, Jackie. That's what I was referring to. That's what I was saying. Like Mozzie sticks, mozzarella sticks for all these good people, you know. But you haven't seen it. It actually, you know what? I'm not saying it like I'm upset. I am upset. I'm not lying. I am upset. You should know it. Okay? I'm going to play the clip, see if you remember what movie this is. Okay?
Yeah.
And if not, you're going to go and do 75 push-ups for Trizzle. Okay? All right. Jackie.
Corn dogs for all these people.
What movie, Kevin?
Only for me, actually, but I don't know the movie.
Monix, you were traded for a washing machine.
It smells tropical in here.
Is that another movie reference?
You don't understand a word I'm saying, do you?
Been punched in the jejunum.
Jumanji.
Not a fan of semi-pro. Well,
You know
like it's
that
one of
line
the
of-
ones. It's not in my.
No.
Oh.
I don't know why you thought
I
he
do
would
love
know
the.
that. I don't either.
See.
I don't.
Do you know the movie where Will Ferrell played basketball?
Oh.
Jive Turkey's a little over the line, my
Yes.
man.
Nobody called anyone a JT.
Tropic Thunder.
That's not it.
That's
Kevin.
not, well, I don't know.
That's
I
not
know.
it.
I have a picture.
Tropic Thunder is Ben
I know,
Stiller and
I'm
Robert
saying-
Downey
No, what
Jr.
am I?
I mean, they were the Tropics.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The Flint,
Why-
Michigan Tropics.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on the movie now?
I have the like the headband and everything. Like I have the picture of him playing basketball in my mind.
Yeah, I literally have a Tropics jersey, which is the issue.
Come on, guys. Should be juiced right now.
I can't tell how much it infuriates me that we looked it back over and that was the reactions. And you were so, I remember, like, yeah, Tropic Thunder.
Well, I just remember
Awful.
the Tropics. Yeah.
That also Tropic Thunder, not a Will Ferrell movie.
No. Tropic Thunder is not. But in
Shirts
my
and
moment,
pants.
all right. So
But mozzarella sticks for all those good people. Corn dogs for all those good people. What are you looking up over there?
I'm on a few news sites right now.
Are you trying to confirm that these have been
I
paid
believe that they got them. So Iowa Bar celebrates Cubs double play, earns patrons free mozzarella sticks. Now it's saying it starts with mozzarella flowed freely at the corner tap room in Cascade, Iowa Wednesday night, but I'm not seeing like it's saying it did, but I have not seen anything that's like, yes, this had. It's saying it got the tasty reward.
Okay.
I don't know. I assume that means that.
Okay. Investigative work. It's phenomenal job. While Zach is continuing to find if the mozzarella sticks have been served, hit that like and subscribe button, everyone. New to the channel, Ryan Ripken Show. We're live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. For now, starting in September, we'll be live Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. We will make sure that that is out and about. We had Will Carroll on earlier, so if you're just tuning in live right now, Will Carroll, injury expert, Under the Knife column. You can check it out on his Substack. We will make sure you guys get that information later on in the show, and we will post it on the YouTube community if you guys miss any of it. But overall, we're in that point right now, Zach, where it's August. We're trying to get the training camp through and football back, and you're hoping your favorite team's still going to be playing in October, which some teams are. If you're a fan of teams in Baltimore and Washington, well, at least for baseball season, it might not be for you. But for football season, you know what? Things are looking optimistic. Well, that is, of course, if your star players are on the field. In Baltimore, the specific one, Zach, that's not on the field at the moment, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And that made everyone worry. That was the tweets that came out yesterday. Lamar was taken to the locker room with trainers, strength and conditioning coach. And then the Ravens said later, hey, he got stepped on, all's good. But even though he was grabbing his wrist is what some people looked like. Harbaugh, though, today came out and said, not worried about Lamar. And here's Kevin Oyster Striker's tweet right there. Harbaugh's update was, and I quote, he got his foot stepped on. They did a quick x-ray. There's no damage or anything like that. He's fine. He's going to be good to go. That would be bad if he wasn't.
Yeah.
So for Baltimore, though, it's good to see. And we know for Lamar, he's a gamer. Get right. You got plenty of time here before the Ravens are going to open up in Buffalo on Sunday night, September 7th. Big game coming your way. Now in Washington, their quarterback is healthy. Jaden Daniels is doing his thing, Zach, and doing it very well.
Yeah.
But they are still missing a huge part of their offense. Now, some people can say, well, you got a good quarterback. You can make things work. Absolutely. But your quarterback's number one weapon, Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, the face of your franchise over the last 5 years or so, he's looking for a new contract. And there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of frustration. And actually, Dan Quinn at his presser, I believe yesterday, and this clip's going to be courtesy of NBC down in D.C., NBC4. But Dan Quinn, let's just say, I think he's done, Zach, with answering, where is Terry McLaurin? Actually, he had a different reference to it. So let me play that clip for you guys here real quick as I upload it, as we always do, in under 2 seconds.
To clarify, will we see Terry today out here doing anything?
Not at the practice portion. He had a big part of the run that went along today. But I'm not going to play Where's Waldo, guys, all right, moving forward. So just so we're clear on that.
I always appreciate DQ giving honest answers. I thought that was one. And while the head coach isn't going to play Where's Terry, we are. Let's get started. It's not Where's Waldo. I got him. Bang. Right there in the red and the white next to Deebo Samuel. I spotted him like right away. This isn't even hard, man. Bang. Behind the goalpost, right next to DQ. Who knew? Who knew? Terry popped up out of nowhere. Challenged me a little bit. Challenge me a little bit.
Did you find him?
Way up here. He's up in the offices, second floor. Oh, we got another one here.
Oh, there is.
Zach Ertz, Cole Turner. The truck. Terry watching practice from behind the truck. We're joking around. It's funny. At some point, Terry McLaurin's simply got to show up. I think Dan Quinn, it was a fair question from our friend Ben Standig to try to figure out when we're going to see him. I think the reality is we're going to see him when we see him.
So that was JP Finley, their reporter down there for NBC4. That was great.
That was
right
fantastic.
there. That was great. Where's Terry? Where's Waldo? But that is a scenario that JP said, well, you will see him when you see him. And I wonder, Zach, if they're going to get to a point where the Commanders are like, screw it, we're done with this scenario, and they trade him. I still don't think that that's what happens.
I see no way that they trade Terry McLaurin. I just don't. Why would you? Like,
if you're trying to win right now, why trade him?
If you had a guy that you did not feel confident was going to be the guy at quarterback, I'd understand it. If you're like, hey, we got to get assets at this point. If you're not going to be with us, you're not holding us back, we'll trade you, get a third round pick for you, and we'll move on. This is a window. Now, and I'll tell you something. You trade Terry, you're closing that window a little bit because that is a number one guy. Now you have to go in, and now your year two quarterback, his best weapon, Deebo Samuel, now he's never played with. So now you have to develop chemistry. Now you're all towards that. Now it's okay. We got to get chemistry with him. We have to see what happens here. Who's going to take over Terry? All these questions. You don't have to answer those questions if Terry just shows up, if you just give him a contract. I mean, we're going to see what happens with this contract. I think Terry ends up playing without it. I just don't think that guy, he just seems like a gamer to me, as much as I think other people might be telling him in his ear, like, hey, hold out, hold out, hold out. I think it's going to get to week 1 and contract or not. I find it very hard to see Terry McLaurin not being on the field for the Commanders week 1.
It's hard to imagine, but you know what? At some point, I understand the business side. And if you're going to be very gung-ho that you are not moving off this number that you're willing to give a player, teams are going to want them, right? And I'm seeing the reports, and John Frisella here with Bleacher Report, I'm just seeing a tweet that's up there, and there was a video from Tom Pelissero with NFL Network that was talking about that teams, 49ers, Jets, Vikings, are clear a little space, and the two names that people said they need to watch is going to be Micah Parsons and Scary Terry. Now, the smoke in the media, I don't like to – it's not always true when there's smoke, there's fire when it comes to certain situations, how true something is or not. But it is very evident that those are two very impactful players. And if you're an organization where there's any remote chance that they are available, you got to inquire if you want them. Like if you are very interested, because Micah Parsons is a game changer. Scary Terry is a game changer. For Washington, though, it would be one thing I'd hate to see happen. I don't know why I'm so fixated on that one compared to like the Micah Parsons and even Trey Hendrickson or any of the other holdouts that happen throughout football, Zach. Yeah. I wonder if it's just because of one, we're closer here to the district, but two, I just have always been a Terry fan, just how he handles himself on and off the field. I love his competitiveness. I love how he has helped a franchise go through a dark time.
Yeah.
And I also love then seeing a player stay with one team for a while. And so part of me would hate to see that happen. I mean, I feel that same way. We had Flacco on a while ago. It was weird when Joe had to leave, but that was different because you were handing the keys because you drafted Lamar. And then the team won those games his rookie year, and then you committed to Lamar. Was it still weird seeing Joe in a different uni? Sure. Different circumstances. For this case, Joe got his second contract. Terry got one, but Terry finally had a good and great quarterback in Jaden Daniels, and he was a huge part of his success. I think that's why maybe I'm so on this. I don't see how the Commanders are going to be a better team facing the Eagles, heck, I don't know what the Giants are going to be, but I think they're going to be better than they were last year. And then
their
you're looking –
defense is too good.
Their defense is solid, very solid. And then the Cowboys' offense, even though they are reality TV show, Cowboys got some playmakers on offense. They do. Dak goes down, they're screwed. But Dak Prescott –
They have some playmakers on defense, too, if they decide they want to play them.
Yeah, play or pay them.
Pay them.
Both.
Yeah.
Unique New York. Unique New York. But, yeah, I digress. It's those systems that you continue to see. But if you're a Washington fan, I'm really curious. If you lose Terry McLaurin, do you feel better about making a postseason run this year?
No, they don't make it without him. I don't know if they make it with him. Like last year was a magic carpet ride, and it's awesome. But like we saw, how many teams have we seen where it's like you get 1 year and it's really good, and then that next year, like if the Commanders make it back to the NFC Championship, that is a massive win. Like it's hard to get that far. We've seen it.
Hard.
We've seen with the Ravens. Like it is hard to get back there.
Winning's hard in sports.
Exactly. So then you take away your best wide receiver, your best weapon. That makes it so much harder.
I think
harder
across all sports.
Yeah.
Right. And you can look at the big cities and teams and markets when we look at baseball. We're just talking about it. With all those big market teams, yes. Have those teams gotten to the chance to go to a recent championship series? Sure. But does spending all the money guarantee that you're going to win the championship? No. Do I understand that a top 10 team in payroll has gotten them to a chance to win a World Series? Yep, I got you. But also a team that wins a World Series or goes deep in the playoffs one year can fall flat. And this is the case in point with the two teams we just talked about earlier, or one team, the Orioles here. Orioles, even with all this, they were not supposed to have the record that they had, and here they are. I'd make an argument then the National League, who has spent a lot of money in the Atlanta Braves, they have not lived up to what they can be. And that's a team that the past years, have they been a dominant force in the National League? Absolutely. In football sense, the Chiefs are that one team. They're constant. Yep, you have a great quarterback, you're going to have a chance. Dallas hasn't been to an NFC Championship game, Zach, since before you were born.
Yeah.
That BZ.
Yeah.
Before Zach.
I have never seen the Cowboys make an NFC Championship game.
BZ.
Yeah.
The Bengals have not won a Super Bowl. The Browns have not gone to a, conference championship since they've come back into the league.
Browns haven't won
Cleveland.
the division ever, and the Titans have more AFC North championships than the Browns. So that's just winning's hard in Cleveland, period. I don't think it matters to the sport.
Very, very true. But for Washington, Eagles, that's going to be a tough go. The NFC is tough. It's tough. I mean, the whole football's tough. But
I mean, you can, and then there are so many wild card teams, that you can see go either way. I think people forget that the team that put up the biggest fight against the Eagles last season is the Rams. And then they added, yes, they lost Cooper Kupp, but they added Devontae. We're going to figure out what Matthew Stafford's back issue is.
Hashtag Stafford dies, McVay lies.
Hashtag Stafford died weeks ago is still my favorite trending thing.
That is
because they won't specify anything. They're like, yeah, he's dead. They're just trying to figure out how to tell us.
That is unbelievable. When you
I
think
just
about
love that it took off so much that it became the point where I was seeing actual tweets about it being like, and then I did see Stafford today said his back's doing well. It was like Ian Rappaport tweet. I was like, sounds like Stafford's in a good place. Everyone's like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by he's in a good place? McVay lied. Stafford died.
I will say, I think Jimmy G will do better in a McVay offense with those guys. But
is it Jimmy G?
Jimmy G's the backup. Porn star Jimmy.
I would prefer if I'm going to go with that. They still have Stetson, don't they?
Okay. I like what he's done. Jimmy, you cannot. That is a risk.
Yeah, but that's Sean McVay. That's Sean McVay. Like
that's
Sean McVay has taken risks on. Like I don't know. I feel like if you want a guy who's going to go out there and just run your offense, I would not be surprised whatsoever if they go McVay or over Stetson over.
I would. Jimmy still went to a Super Bowl in a good system with a good team. That sounds like the Rams. We can get
actually, funny enough, Stetson actually was just named the starting quarterback.
For the final preseason game?
Yeah.
Oh, well. News, Zach.
Well, no, I didn't even know that was
a thing.
Yeah, I did not know that they were. I honestly thought that was a much hotter take when I said Stetson Bennett should be.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I did see a hysterical tweet today. It said breaking news, Alvin Kamara, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, made the Saints 53-man roster.
He is expected to make the roster, a massive blow for such a talented player.
Woof, man. Well, speaking, the Saints are supposed to be one of the worst offenses in football. But since we just were talking about teams and offenses and kind of projecting how the Commanders would be, maybe it's a good time to take a quick trip up to our friends at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Nice. Our friends up at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Look, we're going to be up there on September 7th, by the way, since it is football season. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's talk about those win totals. For the Commanders, do you know what the win total for the Commanders is set at?
I do not, but I'm going to guess solely off of Vibes 9.5.
That's exactly right.
Oh, okay. There we go.
9.5 wins. Detroit, even with their changes, 10.5. The Niners are at 10.5, which is interesting. I know they have a easier schedule. The Ravens are at 11.5 over under. Same with the Bills and the Chiefs and the Eagles. Rams set at 9.5. Right now, a lot of that's going to be contingent on Matthew Stafford maybe. But point being, the Commanders have the same as the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Chargers, the Texans, the Packers, the Broncos, and the Bengals. So I'm fascinated with what's going to happen here, Zach, but that's a high number when you don't have your top offensive player here. But I digress. Have you gotten into any futures bets, or are we still rocking with Bolly's bets for baseball season?
So I got one specifically for tonight for Bolly's bets on baseball. And then, I'm actually, if we're talking future bets, it's more college football. I'm very much between, I kind of want to put a bet on Clemson to win it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any reason?
They have a lot of returning players, a lot of top draft picks. I think Cade Klubnik is going to finally take that step. It is very much, and I feel like I'm hoping it's one of those things kind of like last year where, say what you want if you think they're overrated or not, where the SEC just keeps beating up on each other.
Yeah.
And none of them snuck in. No SEC teams got into. So I'm wondering if it's going to be another one of those. I'm between them and Texas. I want to put money on. So we'll see what happens. But for tonight's bet, it's a special one. We're going high odds tonight because it's happening. Sam Basayo hit a home run.
You're putting the dinger card.
We're putting the dinger card. We're using the dinger card. Sam Basayo going yard tonight. He's missed out on it twice. I think he's just saving. We've had the home run robbery. We've had top of the, big wall over there in the Green Monster. Now I'm sitting here, and we're going big odds. Sam Basayo going yard in his first game at Camden Yards. How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Well, you can be very romantic, but I will say this. If he doesn't get a hit tonight, he's over. Are you ever allowed to place that bet on Sam Basayo again?
If he doesn't hit it tonight?
Yeah, and he's over. If he goes 0 for 4, strikes out 3 times. Bolly's
no, because I've bet on him every single night, and he's done very well. So I don't think I'm the curse for him.
Trying to see.
There are some guys I probably am the curse for.
I don't see. I was trying to look up what his.
Yeah, I know. I've already have a tweet out about it.
They took the plus or minus off it.
They do not have odds right now for him on anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've checked every sports book. They do not have. I'm assuming they're waiting.
You've looked everywhere.
Oh, trust me.
High and wide.
I was like, who's taking my money? Who is taking my money? But yeah, it's not out yet. I assume they're just waiting for lineups to be announced.
But everyone else is out there.
Literally everyone else. Literally. Like, why is Alex Jackson? Why can't I bet on Alex Jackson but not Samuel?
Dylan Beavers is on there.
Yeah. Plus 600, I believe I've seen him at.
That is correct. But if you're going to ride with Bali, if they put it up here later, guys.
Once they drop lineup within 30 minutes, it'll be up there.
Yeah. And as always here, it's always over or under. It's always over and under how many seconds, Zach? It's always under 3 seconds is the correct answer. Under 3, under 3, under 3. Whammy. We'll check out ESPN Bet where they still have it, $10. If you put down $10, you get $100 in bonus bets and you get ESPN Plus 30 days free. But for our part that we wanted to push is that we're going to be up at ESPN Bet, the sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Charlestown Races on September 7th. They're having a little tailgate party in week 1. Join us for the kickoff season with football greats. If you're a Washington fan, you remember the tight end Chris Cooley, who had one of the most iconic commercials, catching that ball through the wall, right, Zach?
We have to
ask him about that. And then one of the best running backs in Baltimore's history, Jamal Lewis, is going to be there as well. And then plus, your friends at the Ryan Ripken Show will be up there filming at the sportsbook. And if you are up there, friend of the show, we always like to do our celebratory toast, take a tequila shot, sip and smile. And who knows, you might end up on the Ryan Ripken Show. That's Sunday, September 7th. Tailgate packages are starting at $40 per person for the tailgate buffet, or $60. You can get buffet and all-inclusive beverages included. That's the tailgate VIP buffet. So check that out. Any questions, reach out to us, but we hope to see you at the tailgate party up there at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino in Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Okay, good. Thanks for staying with me.
I tried. we were just going off each other. That's good. That was good.
I saw Ryan. Where's the bat? Where's the bat?
Yeah, we do need that.
The Orioles started hitting when we brought the bat. Hey now, Mr. Lumber. Look at that. Tear down these walls. Yeah, I just cut down a tree with this. What?
I just see Bleacher Report. It's Sister Jean turned 106 years old today.
Happy birthday for Sister Jean.
And a lot of the comments are, I can't believe she outlived Matthew Stafford.
No way. Oh my. What is this conspiracy theory today?
It's just because I guess it started when they talked to, like, they were just like, yeah, Stafford, he'll be good. But then they weren't saying what was wrong with him or anything. There was like, it's a back thing, and no one saw him. It's just a bunch of things within the hashtag Stafford died weeks ago.
The legend, there's gonna be a folk, it's gonna be like a folk tale. The legend of Matthew Stafford. When did Matthew Stafford stop playing quarterback for the Rams? But more importantly, when did he die? Stafford dies and McVay lies. That is diabolical tweeting. But
hold on. This was my favorite one.
You're going to pull it up on the screen?
Just circling. Oh, it has 478,000 views, 9.4K likes. Just circling everything. This is normal to you?
The internet never ceases to amaze me, Zach.
That's truly. We are officially in the part of the season like that, like dead time in August, where we just need like football and everything back, because these are the stories we're getting. This is what the internet's doing right now. The internet's too bored. All right, we got conspiracy theories out the wazoo.
We're going to find out more and more. That is for damn sure. Joe, I see you saying about what does the label say on the bat?
Up top. I think he's talking about the actual label.
Cal Ripken Senior bat.
Oh.
Yeah, I
straight to the
that.
point.
Yeah. And this is saying Louisville Slugger, Hillerich, and Bradsby, made in USA. Do you want to hold my wood? Is that what you were going for? It's not as bad. Oh, you think you can swing that? I don't think that you can swing it as much as you think you can. Don't hurt your oblique, though.
It's not as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be much heavier.
Well, when you hold it just like this, but I tell you what, when you try to swing this puppy, dude, it's...
Oh, well, okay, yeah, like, obviously, when you go to swing it...
It's not like you're picking up a 35-pound weight.
Well, no, but I thought it was going to be much... Like, the bottom, the knob helps so much. Like, I thought it was going to be way more top-heavy. But it's pretty evenly distributed.
Because of the knob.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I just said. I wasn't anticipating the knob to do that good of a job. You could definitely swing that, and like you give that to like a Samuel Basayo.
Oh,
I would love to see.
This might go 600 feet.
We're talking warehouse.
Yeah, we'll talk to him about upgrading his bat. Well, change everything you've done so far in your career, Sam, to get you to where you are. Let's change it all right now.
Let's change it up.
Let's change it all right now. Well, guys, as we're continuing on here, it is Throwback Thursday. And we didn't last week talk about Adam Sandler movies. So right now might be a good time, Zach, to talk about Adam Sandler movies. And maybe I'll save the rankings because I know Brad's going to feel left out. But I wanted to point out why this is going to be very interesting if we're going to tier movies. So if we're going to put it in the tiers, let's tier Adam Sandler movies today. We'll rank them another day. I think on tiers, if we're going to go to the top ones for me, I think it's simple with the sports ones. Happy Gilmore and Waterboy. Happy Gilmore, the original. I think that's got to be tier one. I think that is no doubt tier one. I think you have any other one that you would add to that list?
Tier one.
I think for classics, those are the two. If you're thinking Adam Sandler, those are the two that I go to. Those are the ones that have been iconic for the last couple decades.
Yeah.
3 decades now.
You could put Billy Madison in there.
Billy Madison.
That's the only one I'm thinking.
On the fence of tier 1 to tier 2.
That's like a good.
I did see that on the other day too. Adam Sandler has the movies, like they're comedies, but some of them can get motions. You know what I mean?
They do. He has range.
He does have some range. So if we're going to say tier 1, Happy Gilmore and Waterboy, guaranteed. Tier 2, or on the cusp of tier 1 and 2, is Billy Madison. Where do you put then Big Daddy?
I was just about to say Big Daddy has to go in there. And I know this might be more controversial.
Oh boy.
I think it's also because of all the star power. I'm now struggling. Do I put grown-ups in a tier 2 or 3?
Ooh.
Just because I feel like that, and I like the first one better. I mean, both are funny.
I feel like Grown Up's a movie that I appreciated as I was growing up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that's an older Adam Sandler comedy.
Yeah.
But then the other part is, do you put 50 First Dates?
Well,
I know Brad's a big fan of that. I'd argue that might be the tier 2. And then Wedding Singer is another classic.
Actually, you know what one I got to put in there, and I know this might be a hot. I'm officially tier 2. I'm going to put Longest Yard. I think that is.
Oh, that is. You know what? It's forgotten because it's a remake.
Yeah.
I could put Longest Yard in tier 2.
Yeah.
So we're saying Big Daddy. We're putting Billy Madison at the 1 and 2.
Yeah. That's like a sitting on the fence. It depends on how many. Because if we want to be exclusive in tier 1.
Yeah, I think the top 2, Happy and Waterboy.
Yeah.
And then I would say then Big Daddy, Longest Yard, and I would probably put 50 First Dates in that tier 2. Tier 3, I think then the grown-ups I'd put there. Wedding Singer, I know people loved. That can be in there. I'd put Mr. Deeds in 3.
Are we putting Click in there?
See, Click for me is probably going to be, I like Click, but it could be, maybe.
But here's where
tier 3, I think might be the largest one.
Well, yeah, because that's what I was going to say. I guess we probably should have established the number of tiers we're going.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would have helped, like maybe like a 4 or 5 tier.
Well, I think the part is that you can't force more into tier 1. That's why I think it's just on what you think.
That's what I was going to say. I think Billy Madison is the only one that you could really be like, okay, here we're tossing in. That movie could join.
You know what underrated one I loved? I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
I
liked it. I thought it was underrated just because of the duo of him and why am I blanking on Kevin James?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good choices. I would say I think tier 3 would be the bigger one. I'd have like the Wedding Singer, Mr. Deeds, put Click, Grown Ups. But I think then the next tier we're looking at, You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Disco. And, those other ones that happen. I know a lot of people like Uncut Gems. I'll be honest, I hadn't seen that one fully through, but that's like a whole different style for Adam Sandler. So I don't know how to tier that with what he's done, because that's a whole different style. That's a whole different style. And like,
do you like bedtime stories? That's one that I always forget about.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it.
So,
especially in the tiers, I'm putting that in that tier 4.
Yeah, I think whatever we haven't said, and we don't have to go as further, but the ones that we mentioned is tier 3.
Yeah.
And then everything below is tier 4 and below. I don't know how to rank. Like I said, I do not know how to rank Uncut Gems. I don't, because it's iconicness. Is that a word? Iconicness?
Yeah.
I don't know if that can pass what's been done over the last couple decades. It's not that I don't love the range he's created, but whammy, Zach, I'm starting to think about what are the movies that I grew up on. And that was Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, Water Sucks, Gatorade's Better, Captain Insano Shows No Mercy.
Waterboy is just one of those. I feel like Adam Sandler, here's the big question, when we kind of go in between Sandler and Farrell. What do you think you see more of on TV? I was trying to think of what movie when I'm scrolling do I just see more of. It's close. Both of those guys have a lot of rerun time.
Yeah.
Longest Yard is weirdly one I see on a lot. Well, I think that's just
Longest Yard has a good run.
Yeah.
That has a good run. There's no doubt about that.
Obviously, I think if we would go the most reruns of all time, it's probably Will Ferrell solely off of Elf, because every Christmas
Elf is the most
because of
holiday.
Yeah, just because if we're like during the end of November through January,
it's on.
Yeah, it's you could flip 4 different channels and it might be on all 4.
It might be.
It just that probably skews. If you look at all-time number for reruns, I'm sure that's
all time. A lot of good kids, man. A lot of good kids. A lot of good movies. But I think that gives us a good idea for when we can rank. So Zach, now that we've gone over, we can rank. I love the fact of the old comedies though, where it still is. Some people might not have loved like The Waterboy now. Just because of the style, but back then and how the story of it, and it's also so damn funny. It's so damn funny. Things have changed, but those comedies back then, late 90s, 2000s, man.
That was like a peak.
They were one of one. I don't know if we're ever going to see it ever again, but I digress. And Sir Cuts-a-Lot, have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? I'm actually, you know what? I've seen the majority of it, Zach. But you know what? That was the movie Jamie said, let's watch that together. You know what happened? Jamie fell asleep. Or she's like, I'm going to go to bed. And then I think that's the dilemma that I have, Zach. What do you do? Do you finish the movie that your partner or significant other wants to watch?
If neither of you have seen it before, I think you stop.
So if neither have seen it, you have to stop. But now I'm waiting. I've waited now for weeks. Like when it came out, we were watching.
Yeah, I think it's you have. Okay, well, no, then there is a time. Like you can after.
So what's the time limit on how long you can wait with your significant other?
I'm going to say a week unless otherwise specified. Meaning if you started on like Thursday and then you guys stop halfway through, and then let's say next Monday, they're like, hey, this weekend, do you want to finish watching that? Now you've established a time outside of the 1 week.
Okay,
but
so
I'm saying if you're starting a movie with someone and they stop it because it's like, okay, it's time to go, I think you give them a few days to be like, okay, are we still watching this? If not, if both of you have seen it, if it's something you're just tossing on, you have every right to watch the rest of it.
Okay, so week. You say there's a week. You have a week.
Yeah, I think
grace
that's a good
period.
Yeah,
because you know what? I'll say this. Obviously people have subscriptions. So if you have a subscription, you're willing to pay for that. That's fine. But what about the people that sometimes are like, you know what? A movie's on. Let's rent this movie, and you'll have it available.
Literally have a week. Literally have a week timer.
Yeah, but what if they don't want to do it during that time? It might be just 4 days. Then you might have 4 days, Zach.
If I think you just have to be like, hey, I'm watching the movie we rented. You have to, at that point, if it's rented and now there is an actual time crunch, I believe you have to. You have to just be like, hey, this is what's happening. We gotta finish this now, or I'm not sure when it gets finished.
Okay. So for everyone out there, let us know what you think is the proper etiquette for finishing a movie with your significant other. Right now, Zach's saying you have a week after it started, then you can watch by yourself. I might say it's a little bit earlier. I might say it's 4 to 5 days.
I mean, that's why I said it. I think it's got to be a conversation.
If it's going into a weekend and you're not watching it, or you're going into the weekend and something happens, okay. But then you have work and you can't watch it during the week, okay, I can see it pushed to the end of the week. But if you say you're going to watch it on a Monday,
you have to,
and then you have it has to be done by the end of the weekend.
Yes,
has to be done by the weekend. So timing on this matters.
Well, yeah, that's why I'd thrown out if you watch it on a Thursday, the weekend comes, you guys are running around, you don't have time, and then like on that Monday, it's hey, do you want to finish watching it next weekend? Now you've established something, okay. But I do think maybe it's a weekend thing. It's how many you get a singular weekend.
I am really you also are going to lose the essence of the actual movie you're watching.
When you restart it are you starting the second that you finished it, or are you rewinding something?
Well, how much is? Well, I think it depends on how much your partner or whoever you're watching it with remembers it. Because what if it happens? It goes, oh, I fell asleep during that part. Oh, I don't remember. Can we rewind
Now
it a
you
little
gotta go
bit?
back
Now
far.
it's a whole another issue. Might as well just watch the whole thing again at that point. You know, I could go down a rabbit hole here because I'm
These
stuck
are the
on
real
this.
conversations.
This is what we actually need to figure out. Hey, audience, please help us here. What is the proper time? Because right now, I got to tell you, I think the expiration times, it's run out for me.
No. Happy Gilmore 2 definitely
Ran out. So I digress there. But, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're on Spotify and Apple and you're still listening at this time, appreciate you. And I'm seeing some she snoozes, she loses. Pun intended. Yeah. Ryan Ripken Show, the movie. We should maybe have to.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine? And I forgot about 8 Crazy Nights, Joe. I did forget. That's a holiday movie. Still maybe not one of the top holiday movies I watch consistently, but it is a Adam Sandler in that classic realm. But for me, I'll be honest, when we do our top, it's not going to be in my top 5. No. It's not going to be in my top 5.
When we have Ryan
but
Ripken
it is
Show
a classic
the movie, I need Kevin to play me.
Sure.
Just Kevin. That's the only person that's the same. Everyone else has like big time actors, and I want Kevin to have to play me.
Do they have to put in like the preference or after just like Zach is, how they say like this is based off of real events?
Yeah.
Just be like Zach is based off of somewhat of his character.
No, it's full. Kevin, I will write the script for me and everything. It'll be fully me. I just want Kevin to have to, but there will be a disclaimer at all times on screen that I am taller. Every time I'm in it, it's like a disclaimer pops up. In real life, Zach Vollinger is taller.
Okay. Now I got it. I hear what you're saying. We'll wait for the movie.
Yeah.
The documentary too. It's gonna be everything. That'd be something.
That would be.
What if I told you? Documentary down in New Orleans, where
too many hand grenades.
That was still
the
recovering.
biggest issue is we actually, looking back, the one night that was the worst wasn't even. We had 3 drinks. It was the hurricane. It was the hand grenade, and then what was the?
I might have had some other drink.
No, because then we got that massive when we went off.
It was the hurricane. Massive hurricane.
I thought we got a separate.
I might have indulged in a couple other things like other drinks.
This was the first. This was the night.
Oh, the first night. Yeah, that was just the amount of sugar intake with the alcohol.
Because that's why I remember waking up the next day and being like, I felt completely fine last night. Now I'm suddenly
hurting.
And it wasn't even like it was straight sugar. It was my body begging me for anything but sugar at the moment.
I'll be honest, I overindulged that second night. First night, you're right. That was fine. Second night, a little overindulged, but that could be for Rip After Dark.
I was going through, obviously I've been going through the Super Bowl footage.
There's some moments.
I was just going to say, I was on Friday. I was rewatching some of our stuff from that. We were done. We were beat up.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
Lost a lot of good men out there.
That one. I just remember I was looking at it. I was like, we were talking about something at the table. And I was like, all of us look like we could fall asleep right now. I will say that Saturday we got back. I think I slept from like 2 a.m. because our flight got in at like, I think we got in that night. Yeah, we got in like 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Got back to Baltimore. And I just remember falling asleep at like 1 a.m. and I think I slept for like 13 hours because the next day was the Super Bowl and I woke up like almost in a panic of like, did I miss the game?
Everybody panic. Good times, man. Well, we'll bring that back soon enough. We'll be back down there. And hey, I also got some.
We'd be across the country.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, I got some, might be some winter meetings in the mix here coming up here. Stay tuned. But you know what, guys? And we hadn't done this, and I just thought about this. We hadn't done this because of me not being here last week. But it is Thursdays.
Yeah.
And I want to try to have call-ins for Thursdays. So I'm going to, for our Holy Shirts and Pants members, right now, I'm going to put the link on YouTube for Holy Shirts and Pants members. So I'm saying link for members for the show right now. Join. So we're gonna have leave that open. We'll see if people are gonna pop in from the Holy Shirts and Pants member. If you want to call in, express what's happening, how you feel about baseball, football, Adam Sandler movies, or the right time frame of you listening or watching a movie with your significant other. All of those things are on the table. Now, one thing I wanted to point out with the Orioles, Zach, before we wait to see if anyone's going to join, Daniel Johnson's in Baltimore.
I didn't see that. So is Machin.
It makes me wonder also.
It's medical.
So it might be
medical taxi squad.
Interesting.
I think we know who it's for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I would assume Westberg.
What about Adley? You have
well,
Jackson
okay,
on
so
the
I
lineup.
would think Adley. Yeah, I guess because you have
Jackson.
but yeah, I guess because you have Basayo and Jackson that you'd want you can do it. Yeah. I just think with Adley, I think with Basayo up, they want to have 3 catchers, period, because of just the way they want to move him from catcher first and DH and kind of encompass everything.
Why are you getting so quiet when you said that? Like you got. Really
I was thinking. There was,
Is that what happens?
The gears were turning.
You get really quiet and
gears were a turning.
They are turning. Well, we'll find out here shortly of what's happening and what's going on, and we'll get into all of that. But I see we got some callers going in. So the first one, though, he might be running around. He might be running through the state of Arkansas. We'll find out here soon enough. But the more we know, let's bring on Joe. Joe,
what's going on, fellas?
Happy Thursday. We're hanging. We're doing good. How are you doing? Where are you running around to?
We're about to get to the office. I gotta change the tires on this lovely truck. So, new tires. Make sure we don't blow out.
Yeah, don't do that. You've had your fair share.
Yeah, we've had our fair share of blown tires and dead batteries and all that good stuff. So, we're trying not to do that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I feel like there was a time period while we were doing a show where you would tune in and it'd be like, well, I'm stuck on the side of the road. Well, battery's dead. Well, hopefully help's on the way. I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm happy that you're being proactive, Joe. Being proactive.
Yeah. I've been asking for the tires for about 3 weeks, so they finally got the guy to the office to do it. But,
perfect.
Hey, better late than never, I guess.
Yep. Hold on, Zach. What do you got for me?
We just got the news. Adley Rutschman to the IL with a strained right oblique.
Oh.
Daniel Johnson recalled Samuel Basayo is the everyday catcher going forward, according to Tony Manzolino.
So does that mean under the 130 at bats?
Yes, we are going to see Alex Jackson. He is going to get 129 at bats this season. I already know it.
Well, I would say right now, Adley's season's probably done.
And they also did say Jordan Westberg update. Day to day could miss 4 to 6 games, and they're saying he avoids the IL.
Okay. Well, Joe,
yeah.
Mr. Basayo's the everyday catcher now. I don't know if that's what you want to talk about. What did you want to talk about first, or you can talk on Mr. Samwell.
Well, Samwell is going to light the world on fire, so that goes without saying. But as far as how long you have to wait until you watch it, gentlemen, when you've been in a long-term 20-plus year relationship, you wait until she tells you it's time to watch it. You don't put a time frame on that, because if you go and watch it and then 6 weeks later we're going to finish watching this movie, or let's watch this, and you've done it, you're in the doghouse. So just wait on the movie.
You know what? So, you know what? I appreciate the sentiment. The problem is, though, Joe, what happens if she gives you the green light and then later she's mad at you, right? That's what you're kind of – so you never can win.
But no, you really can't. But if she tells you to watch the movie, then go ahead and watch it. But she's still 6 weeks later going to say, be upset that you watched it.
You remember when you watched that without me and be like, well, Jamie, Jamie, I don't even remember what happened in the movie. Who is Happy Gilmore? You know, like that's what it is.
Happy Gilmore too. The best part is John Daly. I mean, I'm a little biased there, but you know.
You know, the thing that I'm excited about, what I've had so far and seen, I love the cameos. I know I'm not expecting it to be like the top movie. You know, that was never my expectation. I love a good cameo. I love what they've done so far, and it's having me feeling nostalgic. So I'm with you on that, but thank you. Joe's saying, Zach, so keep your ears open. You know, whatever your partner wants, that's what you do. I digress. I'm going to fight the system. But, Joe, before I let you go, I'm sure you have an Arkansas fact for me. I'd be wrong for you not to give me one.
Yes. I told the boys on Gary Williams earlier, but Jesseville, Arkansas, you can go get crystals. So there is like a crystal place where you can find rocks and crystals and all that good stuff. So we got diamonds and we have crystals. And you can go shop for different rocks, and it's $1 or $2 for various different crystals and rocks and things that are discovered in the Ozark Mountains. That's why we're called the natural state. A bunch of quartz, a bunch of diamonds.
Is that actually what the Arkansas is called, is the natural state?
Yes, the natural state.
They're not the Little Rock state?
No, the natural state.
The natural state where you can find diamonds, crystals, the longest yard sale across the state.
Apparently there's many of those in the South. I've seen it over on Facebook the last couple of weeks. There's one in Texas. There's one in Oklahoma. They're not nearly as long, and they haven't been going on as long, but yeah, there's quite a few of them.
You know, I can believe that. I really can. I really, really can. But, Joe, hey, I appreciate you, man. We got a lot more planned for football season, obviously. And I haven't told everyone with this yet, but we're going to reset for next week so we can hit the ground running. Now, we're still going to be available next week for some footage. We got some fun things coming the way, but it's going to be a fun year. And, yeah, can't wait. And we're going to have more of these pop-up questions. So I appreciate your input. And get ready for when Brad comes back. We got our list of top movies.
And join the Kevin and Zach Facebook group.
Kevin and Zach Facebook group. Is Zach allowed to join, or does he have to know what Facebook is?
Well, that part is true as well. But
I do have to create a Facebook to join.
Okay. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I heard him. He said it multiple times already.
Yeah, you would think I'd make one, but it's coming, Joe. You know what? Tonight I'm making a Facebook. There it is.
And you got the invite. I sent you the invite, Ryan. So you should have the invite. Brian,
okay. I'll have to check.
One, Rocco got one, whether I want to or not. But
I will check it out, and I will make sure I get in there. All right.
Now we just need Kevin and Zach to actually make shorts and do some legwork on the channel so that we can share those videos to the Facebook page to grow the channel.
There you go. Well, maybe one of them will get a Facebook within the next year.
It's on. Kevin's got one. It's up to him right now.
Okay.
He's got to carry it.
Oh, good kids. All right, Joe. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Be good, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Later.
See you, Joe.
The more you know with Arkansas.
The more you know with Arkansas, Joe. Good kid. Good kid. There is something, too, when he mentioned about the movies, like it's sticking out to me about like, I have had that happen. If you didn't wait to watch it with me, I mean, Jam, it has been 3 years since we've now watched that movie. That's what it's felt like. But then Jamie, when it comes to a series to watch, I love her. You know, we're going to watch it together. I get home, she's already finished it. You know? Unbelievable.
Erroneous. We also do officially have Samuel Messiah plus 500 to hit a home run.
There it is. There it is.
Lock it in, baby.
Lock it in. All right, let's lock in for our next caller. I see him behind the scenes. We want to bring Sam on?
Yep, from one Sam to
From
another.
one Samuel to another Samuel. What's up?
What is up, guys? One Samuel, I should say, not a Samuel, because I'm a good old white dude here. But yeah, how y'all doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. You know, it's kind of that Thursday laid back throwback feel, and dog days of August. Not ideal, obviously, for hearing the news with Adley. I love
it's
talking.
His other oblique too.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm aware. It's tough.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean,
yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam. What's on your mind?
Yeah, no, I mean it's been, gosh, obviously this year's a wash, considering what they went through earlier. But man, it's like ever since Sammy and what's the name the
Beavers.
Beaver came on up, man, it's been different, and I liken this to, and I've heard a lot of people say on Kevin and Zach Reacts and just on social media in general, this is very akin to what it was like when Adley came up in 22. It was that spark that the club needed to get him going. And I think right now, I think the team knows that right now there aren't any expectations on him. And so they can kind of just, let their hair down, let loose, and just have fun. And that's what we're seeing. And that's why I love watching these guys the past week or so since the guys got called up. It's just been different. The feel is just different. And I love, watching them. I mean, I'm with, Zach on this. I think it was yesterday when they had the day off. I'm like, man, no Orioles baseball. I'm like, when's the last time I said that? I haven't said that all season.
It's been more of a mental health break than
it's awesome.
anything recently. And now it was like, can't watch the boys. What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how I meant it, might have been the show yesterday, that just 2 weeks ago, hell, before the Houston series, everyone was going up, can't wait for football. Oh, can't get here quick enough. And then Beavers gets called up. Then Basayo gets called up. And then the Orioles fans, there's that little buzz. Brandon Young almost throws a perfect game. And you're right, though, Sam and Zach, and we've talked about it here on the media network for the Ryan Ripken media with the shows. When the trade deadline passed, you kind of felt like they realized that this 2025 run was over, like officially. Like up until then, you were hoping. I mean, Ryan O'Hearn, when I talked to him in the interview, he said we want to try to force the hand, right, coming out of the All-Star break, and they fell flat. And there was frustrations left and right. And then all of a sudden, they're going, okay, screw it, let's just go out and play ball, and their natural instincts take over. And the one thing, Sam, I'll add to all this is the Orioles, when we talk about going back to 2022, when you don't have expectations, you have nothing to lose. And when you have nothing to lose, you play more free. And when you play more free, your natural talent will take over and you can make winning plays. And then when you make winning plays, that builds confidence for you to go and make more games up and to win and all so on and so forth. So not until the injuries in June of 2024 and the dominoes with Kyle Bradish, Tyler Wells. Who else went down during that time? Danny Coulombe.
Who didn't go down?
Yeah. And so when that happened, it was finally the shift, because people forget the Orioles had the first team to 70 wins, right, last year, Zach?
Yep. Yes, they were.
In the American League. And they became in baseball. So they became the hunted. And they did not know how to be the team that everyone was chasing, for a lot of different reasons. You can say it's fatigue, can say it's pressure, whatever it was. There was that same feeling was still there to start this year. I mean, Sam, I don't know if you heard me say that yesterday. There were guys I talked to on the team after the first 2 weeks of this season, and I had never heard them talk like that before over the last 2 years of, God, we got to figure this out. And I was like,
2 weeks.
Right. Like, and that was my point. And there's one thing of being, hey, we're going to figure this out. It's not good to, we got to figure this out. So, yeah. But anyway, sorry, my babbling on. Continue. What do you got?
No worries. No worries. There's a thing that I'm feeling for next year, and I'm not saying this is that next year is their year to win it all, but I think if it's gonna be a year, it's gonna be next year. And I think, and here's why I think that. In terms of Rutschman's future, I mean, we got the oblique injury, and I heard Zach say it's his other oblique. So, I mean, you're probably right to say that he's probably not going to play the rest of the season because we got what, 6 weeks left, 5 weeks left.
Yep.
Not even. And so at that point, you might as well just shut him down, let him rehab, and get Sammy and Jackson the reps behind the dish. But next year, if everyone's healthy, it's like you got a veteran in Westberg, Gunnar, Adley's gonna be in his 5th year. I don't know about Mountcastle. I don't know what his. I mean, I don't see him being on the team next year. I think he's going to be in a package, just because of the logjam we got at first. But with everyone that they got coming back next season, I really do think that that's the year they're going to put it all together. 23 and 24, and heck, even this year they were young. No one expected them to do that. But now they're developing into these leaders like Westberg. I mean, he was the last person I'd expect to be the captain of the team just because of how reserved and quiet he was when he, got called up. But, listening to the fan and listening to other stations about them, they all think that he's the one, he's the captain. And I think I agree. And I think with all these guys that are going to be their own veterans in some way, and Mike Elias, he's got to nail this offseason. I think that really is what it hinges on next season. If he can add a couple starters and of course get us a solid closer, because we can't rely on the bullpen we got. We need to go out and get somebody. They can't do it. So I think if Elias does what he's paid to do, or someone else comes in and does it, whatever happens after October, then I think they got a super solid chance, because that lineup offensively, when everyone's healthy, it's one of the best in the majors. So I'm definitely looking forward to next year.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this offense has the firepower. The problem was, and I think it was a serious thing, but for some of these guys, when you're dealing with pressure and expectation, some of those guys being younger, we're still trying to figure out how to, be a big leaguer for a full year. So I love the fact that Jackson Holiday is in the big leagues this entire year. He's had really good months and he's had some struggle months, and that's great. Like, that is great for development. I don't love that Adley's had the injuries, but I love that Adley's had to go through it. I still believe if he's healthy, Adley's going to play a big part of this team in 2026. I really do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
Samuel, I don't like to throw around the superstar phrase too often, because I don't want to water it down, and I don't think I really do, Zach. I don't think I really try to be that.
You're pretty careful with that.
Yeah, I try to, but I am going to say it. He is going to be it. There's a short list. There's a short list, Sam, that I've watched where I've been around. And when you're around those guys in a setting, a more intimate setting, or you can be by a practice field, and you have that oh shit moment. And I've had a few of them. And the ones where I had it were Juan Soto, who's my teammate with the Nationals, Gunnar Henderson, being with him, coming out of COVID down in spring training. And Sam Basayo has that same feeling where it sounds different. How he handles himself is different. The aura, the way he picks things up. Now, he might need to hustle a little bit out of the box on some doubles that he might think's leaving the ballpark, but his baseball IQ is unbelievable. His baseball aptitude. I think Gunnar is the most talented Oriole on the team, but I think Sam Basayo might become the best power bat when it's all said and done here in Baltimore. And that's high praise, sure. But that's how I feel. And then for the closer spot, I know the Brew Crew are making things happen, but I'm right there with you. And Zach, you're in agreement with this. They got to solidify one guy's going to be the guy. If it's going to be Wells in house, or you go and get somebody. I think they have to, and you got to get some more starting pitching. Got to get some more guys. Got to get 100%. Some more guys. Man, it'll be a fun finish.
Looking forward to it. This is definitely feeling like 2011. 2011 and 22 ending, especially 2011 getting to play the spoiler. So I'm hoping they can push some teams out. But I've talked a lot of times. I'll let you guys go to the next caller. But hey, thanks for having me on, y'all, and I hope you all have a good rest of your week.
Hey, you too, Sam. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll talk soon. All right.
Hey, take care, guys.
Sam, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's a lot of things to like. There's a lot of things to like of what the team is doing right now. And it's okay to be excited. I want to say this out loud. It is more than okay to be excited about what you can watch, but also understand that was the goal not reached this year, or probably won't, because I'm not going to, season's not over yet. But more than likely, Zach, yeah, the Orioles failed their 2025 expectation. But in this process, has it been a fun process the last couple of weeks and has kept you excited for their future? The future is still very, very bright. Let's get our next caller. Might be our last caller then. Is that Rick behind the screen?
We got Rick.
Rick.
My guys.
How we doing today?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good, man. You know, it's the Thursdays were kind of mellow. Good time. You know, can't really complain, man. I mean, people are enjoying baseball still. That's good. And, you know, college football is this weekend and NFL is 2 weeks away. Can't complain.
I heard that. I'm ready for football, but I haven't given up. Maybe I'm a little delusional, but I haven't given up on this year. 36 games left. Anything's possible, you know. It's only impossible till somebody does it.
Hey, preach on that. The thing for the Orioles, though, we know we'd be watching history. The Orioles sit 8 back as we talk about this. And they need to climb 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in front of them to get there.
Yeah, but if you notice, we're only a couple games behind, 2 of them. And I think we're 5 behind. Let me look real quick.
5.5 behind the Royals,
right.
5 behind the Guardians.
We're a game and a half behind the Angels in Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
We're 3 behind Cleveland. And that's just Kansas City, which we're 5.5, 6.5 behind, and Seattle. So, I mean, it's possible.
Well, especially if they have upcoming, Zach. Looking at that, I didn't realize. Well, I did realize. I didn't realize it was the next series after. But Houston's here, then Boston's here.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, if
got 2 series left versus the Yankees, listen, the schedule is tough. Schedule is tough, but that's because every team that they play is in front of them. So if you're gonna do it, you have your opportunity.
Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
I was gonna say we play our best baseball against tough teams, if you noticed.
Mm-hmm. They definitely have raised the bar playing those teams. I was actually looking at teams over 500 right now. The Orioles are almost at 500 against teams over 500. And ironically, the Yankees are right at 500 playing teams. They're 32-32. The Red Sox are 30-31. The Orioles now are 33-35. And Cleveland, who's 2 games over 500, 27-37 against teams over 500. The Royals are worse. So you're right. This has been probably the frustrating part, but also why, hey, they're playing tough teams. Yeah, why not? Why not? What can happen?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Boom, baby. Hey, you know what? Wouldn't that be a story? Throw that in a documentary. It would be amazing to see. I would love to see it, Rick. I hope that those guys do it, but above all, I just hope we continue to see this team continue to trend in that right direction, because you can carry it into 2026. We saw it with the Tigers last year. You create the narrative, you get that culture change, you get back on track. No reason why this Orioles team's window should close at all over the next few years.
Yeah, it would be epic if it happened. It would truly be historical, but they have really tested me this year. Everybody was like, "Oh, you're Mr. Optimistic," and blah blah blah, and and that they really pushed me on that, because this year, even I was at my breaking point after they had that fire sale. I was so mad. Mr. Optimistic went right out the window for a couple of weeks. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hey, we all have those moments. I think it's funny. I get deemed the most probably optimistic person when it comes to that. I think I just stay very realistic, or try to be even keeled with it as much as I can. But I get called a homer in the process. I think I've been very fair on the successes and failures of the squad. But, do I like to throw out an O's are fine once in a while, which I haven't in a while, by the way, but Zach's been telling me I should.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Brian. I try to keep it real, but, it's easy. It's easy to get mad and get discouraged. It's hard to stay optimistic sometimes, you know.
It is. It certainly is. It's funny though. People can live and die by one baseball game, but they don't always live and die by one football game, and there's less. You know.
Well, that's a whole nother situation. Me and Zach, we're kind of the same there. We get really upset when we lose. Football, I'm ready to fight after every game. I mean, not literally, but kind of literally.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it's a metaphor, it's also the metaphors that are actually true. I want to hit somebody. Someone's got to, you know, it's like, you're crushing it, Zach, the Catalina wine mixer. You know, can you fix anything? No, but if you don't fix your face, I'm going to fix it for you. You know, just want to punch you.
I'm going to give. I was thinking about something. I'm going to give away my age here. You know, I've been connected to your family in one way or another for 50 years.
Yeah, actually, yes.
I was thinking about that the other night. I was like, my God, that is so weird. My mom and your grandmother used to have coffee back in the mid-'70s.
It's crazy to think,
I was
right?
going to school with your uncle in middle school in the mid to late 70s.
You know, and Zach.
50 years. Good Lord.
Zach wasn't born for another 30.
Yeah. It's crazy. I remember when you were born. It just seems like it was, you know, maybe 10 years ago.
You know, in some cases, I will say now looking back for me in high school, you know, I graduated high school now 13 years ago. And
time flies.
Yeah. You know what? I appreciate the moments. I wish things would slow down, but I'm also learning to just enjoy the process.
Well, that's it.
Trying the best.
That's why you got to have fun, buddy, because I'm telling you, it goes quick, you know? I mean, I'm still the same guy I've always been, but I'm 60 years old. It's crazy.
Crazy, man. Well, Rick, hey, your energy is infectious. Better not lose that on me, especially during this football season. We got a lot of stuff playing, man. So you better bring the energy.
Yeah, I'm fired up for football season, even though Lamar lost his foot yesterday.
Yeah, they might have amputated it, actually. I think Zach just read the thing.
I just saw Harbaugh on the news. He's like, everything's fine. So,
hey, the Ravens are fine, right, Zach? Ravens are fine.
I just want him to stay away from the Orioles. Just stay on your side of the street over there. Stay away from the Orioles.
With it, no injury bug this year, Rick, but we let's hope. And let's hope the Ravens can get back to a Super Bowl. But I appreciate you, man. Hey, we might be doing I got your message for the fantasy football. You're in. Thank you for breaking your rule. We got a lot of things going on down the stretch, so keep your eyes open.
You got it.
It's gonna be a fun ride. But I appreciate you, Rick. And you got to call in more when we get this going in the fall, all right?
Yeah, I will. I appreciate you guys now.
Appreciate you, Rick. Night. Yeah, you have a great night. Thank you.
O's.
Go O's, baby. Good kid. Good kid. Oh, we got another good kid. I thought we were done for it, but we got one more. One more in there.
Yeah, Laura.
She just snuck on in. Laura, how we doing?
Of course I snuck on it. You thought I was going to let you go without Collins, without me sneaking in at least a little bit. I'm not going to keep you very long, though, because I have an engagement to get to.
Oh.
So. Not that engaging.
Oh.
So, as you can see, NFL is king. So let's talk about the football. What is going on with this Ravens O-line again? Why can't we get a solid O-line to protect our quarterback? Not that it had anything to do with what happened yesterday. I'm just talking about in general. They're not even protecting Cooper Rush. I mean, what is going on in Baltimore with our O-line?
You know, I'm glad that I did not play offense. I didn't play offensive line, period. I played a little bit of football, but those are jobs that I don't envy because it's just the dirty work constantly. And I feel like you're going to be criticized more than you're rewarded for the most case. Right. I mean, Zach,
keep talking.
Yeah. Well, I think that, I think the Ravens have good pieces. When you got Linderbaum up front, like he's going to be the anchor for it.
Linderbaum
and Ronnie being healthy and Rosengarten, if those three can be good.
The unit overall, I believe is solid. It's all about how can they help each other out. I actually love Voorhees. I think Voorhees is going to be a star. It's the right guard position, and it's going to start and end there. And you are only as strong as your weakest link. And it's going to be, how can they scheme things up? How can they have Linderbaum helping him out? How do you have Rosengarten helping him out? The right side of that line is going to kind of be where it is. I think that's going to be the make or break for the Ravens. Is going to be, because you're right. Like, if they can't protect him on that right side, Lamar can get out of a lot. Lamar can make a lot of, make up for a lot of bad O-line play, but I'd prefer if he didn't have to.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. That would be nice. What's going on with Scary Terry in Washington? I mean, is he gonna sign? Is he gonna leave? I mean, is he not gonna play? I mean, what do you think is gonna happen here?
I mean, Zach and I have a hard time seeing
he'll be there.
He has to be.
Okay.
I think he means too much to the team. I really do. I think he means too much. I think he means too much to the team. But it's business. I mean, if they say, screw it, we're done with you, another team's going to want him. I just don't think it makes Washington any better. If you're trying to win and you're trying to win now, try to meet somewhere in the middle, and maybe Terry's going to have to come down off that number that he wants. But if they give him like 31 million, Zach, with your I would take that. If you're looking for 33 or 32 and you get 30 to 31, it's probably the best he'll get. But time will tell. Time's running out. I don't like, the closer you get to the season, I don't like guys getting their first reps on being for a football season when they're this close. Cause I think it's going to be, I think either like injuries happen, you're not on the same page. That's what scares me the most, the longer that this holdout is.
And speaking of which, what about this new trend where it seems like obviously your top players it looks like, are not getting into any preseason games? I realize they're taking reps in practice, and that's fine and dandy and everything, but do you think they shouldn't play at all during the preseason? Because I heard a report today that now Josh Allen is not going to play in their preseason game tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think there's a value still playing in the preseason, but it depends on who you are. Like the Chiefs and Mahomes, they play every single year. Like they play every single year. But like for Lamar Jackson and for any of these quarterbacks, if Lamar got hurt in the preseason,
my biggest thing is I'm not doing it because it's in Washington and that field is just an atrocious.
Well, no, I agree. I agree
like that's for my big thing for the Ravens is I think it also Washington has been a crap show when it comes to keeping care of their field and just the amount of injuries.
J.K. Dobbins,
literally,
the big
like
one.
legitimate. So like if as soon as I'm the Ravens, that's why I said the only week I would play them is 2. Go, you're at the Cowboys Stadium, like go. Do your thing, you get a drive, get your stuff in. The second they didn't, do that, you gotta.
Well, my thing in general with anything, I don't like the Bengals played because they've been getting off the slow start. So you're trying something different. Okay, great. You play Burrow and Chase and Higgins. I think that helps you get in some sort of rhythm, but also at the same time, depends on who you are. I mean, they're doing enough. The old school guy in me likes that they play, but damn, if any of them got hurt,
right?
Lamar goes down, Josh goes down, your season, Burrow goes down,
right?
Your aspirations are gone. So those guys, I'm cool with. Hey, you're gonna sit Derrick Henry, sit him, But some of the young guys, like they need to play,
right?
They gotta play to get on track. So we'll see. We're 2 weeks away, Laura. 2 weeks away.
All right. I mean, are you guys ready? Are we excited? Because I know I'm ready to kick your ass in fantasy football once again, Ryan. I'm always ready to kick Zach's ass. Zach doesn't know what he's doing in fantasy.
I was in a tank last year.
You were in a tank?
I'm coming blazing for you guys this year. I got a new strategy. So bring it on.
I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, Laura. We got a lot of things coming, and it will be a lot of fun. There will be a lot of fun down the road.
I know you have packages set up. Am I getting a Deep Eddy t-shirt? I mean, I already have those are fine. I just really need a Deep Eddy because I really need to advertise my vodka.
Just wait and see.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Sounds like a plan. I will pay you to advertise my vodka, but I need to advertise my vodka.
Well, we got certain things in the works. I'll put it at that. So
sounds good.
It'll be good. All right.
All right, guys. It's 5 o'clock. It's quitting time. Get on out of there.
Okay. Cheers. Cheers, Laura. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
That was on me. Cut her off right as
she was saying thank you, and you cut her off.
Yeah, no,
That's
that
nice
was completely mistimed by me.
That was mistimed by you. You're a good kid sometimes, Zach.
I try.
You're a good kid sometimes.
You know, I jumped the gun a little bit there. You know, hand up, that's on me.
Yeah, I saw two people come back in to it. I saw Joe and Rick come back in. Guys, if it's quick, it can be quick, but I can't tell you guys right at the moment, but I'm supposed to do something about 10 minutes. So do we have like a minute? We got a minute, Joe, Rick? Maybe? I can't see.
I think Rick left.
Oh, Rick. All right, Joe, you got 2 minutes on the clock, Joe. 2 minutes.
The ketchup smoothie, Ryan. I forgot to tell you about it.
What the hell? Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. Oh, God, I forgot you tried that. What the hell is that?
It was actually a 6 out of 10.
And it's just ketchup.
No, it's got apple juice in it, Asiago, some fruits, and it tasted like a VX Splash.
Oh, okay. I can live with that. I don't want it.
I just can't. I can't bring myself to it. I'm just not a ketchup guy. I can't do it.
I'm not a ketchup guy either. I'm not. But I like tomato. I like tomatoes. I don't like ketchup.
Yeah, but I think okay. I'm a ketchup guy, like just for fries. You know, like I'll put ketchup on fries. I'm not a big I need to have ketchup on this sandwich. I can't. You know, I'm not. If I'm, hot dogging with mustard, I just ketchup flavored. I would do pickle. Pickle I'd do in a heartbeat, but not ketchup.
Pickle I'd mess around with. So your final verdict, Joe, is 6 out of 10. You like it, that rating you're telling me is you recommend that someone try it, but it's not gonna
knock your socks off. You're not gonna buy it again.
It's not gonna ruin your day.
No.
Okay. I'll hold you to that. And the next time you got to find me some crazy thing too, and then we can go try that. I don't know if I'm gonna try the ketchup one.
We're working on it. I'm gonna try to do something every Sunday.
I like that. Well, Joe, perfect. Find me something that better not taste like ass, and we're in business. All right.
I'll be honest. YouTube crashed, so I just hopped back in the StreamYard.
All right. Perfect. All right, Joe. Appreciate you, man. All right. See ya. Hey, good day for call-ins. And if you guys want to call in,
I just can't do ketchup. Can't do it.
Can't. If you guys want to call in, Holy Shirts and Pants members, call in with us just for them. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. And it's going to be a fun football season as we get closer. All right, Zach. I think it's time for us to wrap it on up. We want to remind you, we are going to take next week. I don't think we're going to have a live show planned. Doesn't mean we're not going to have anything happen, but we're resetting to get ready for the week 1 of the NFL season. We are going to have shows on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday. Do not worry. We are going to have baseball content. Heck, that might be something that we're about to go do right now to make sure we're on top of it. So, guys, hit that like and subscribe button on the way out here. We don't have the music, but you can use your imagination of bow, 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 bow. As always, here on the Ryan Ripken Show, we appreciate each and every one of you. Have a day, have a night, have a great stinking weekend. We'll see you guys soon. We'll be ready to ramp up for this fall football season. But be good. Go Birds. Go O's.